my air conditioning is on full blast because it's not too comfortable today, or in this country in general.
It's hot.
So I'm gonna do
pretty much everywhere.
Gonna do some magic later to make sure that it doesn't affect the quality too much. But as far as live goes, you're gonna hear it. It's the magic that comes in post-production where I can remove that.
See how I did that? I did that in my brain.
Just like that.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
What can we do? But yeah.
I'd like to apologize to everyone. The podcast is slightly late today because I fell back asleep. I woke up at a reasonable hour, and then I saw my cat. I went, "Oh, you're cute," and then I hugged him, and then fell right the fuck back asleep.
Is it safe to? Are we talking about the reasons for a late podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me. That's all me.
Okay.
Oh yeah. It's like petting
almost every time.
It's like petting a cloud.
Okay. That sounds nice.
Have you ever pet a cloud? Yes, you have. I've seen it.
That sounds nice. Yeah. Okay.
And then Wooly stole my energy drink.
You did preemptively put one here.
Yes.
In anticipation.
I did.
And you had 3.
Yeah.
And you left 1.
I did.
And then I did drink.
I should have broke my balls on it. You know, by the way,
but
you do know what I do to the tops of those cans.
Later on, yeah.
No.
But that was boxed.
No.
I saw it in the box.
I took it out of the box.
Okay, but because you got 2 cases, now that's technically just 1 down from the positive.
One of those cases was mine.
Yeah, but you got 2 of them.
Did I have 2 of them?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
now I actually owe you
a case minus
95 Red Bulls or whatever the fuck.
So in the end, I suppose
Wooly,
it all works
I will
out.
gladly give you 100 Red Bulls, but you have to drink them all during one podcast.
Will I get a Chocobo if I do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you will. The Chocobo that will ascend you to the heavens as you obviously die.
What is wrong with them?
With who?
With KFC. Oh, we're going to have fun on that story. We'll save it for the story. There's a fun story.
There's a fun story.
But before story time comes...
Other story time.
Week time.
Story of your week, sir.
More like story of your strong.
That sucks.
You suck. What'd you do?
That's... Yeah. Oh boy, we need taurine real bad.
It's getting bad. See this? This is coffee. This
that's for pussies. Get out of here with that.
This doesn't do it.
It's not. It doesn't have enough co-branded flavor.
Babe, you know I love you, right? Yeah. Cool. Just checking.
Yeah, he's just checking that you know. She's got a rock on her hand. She knows, dude.
Just checking.
Remember that you were here all day yesterday?
Yeah. I was home all day yesterday.
You were just home all day
That's
yesterday
true.
doing nothing.
That's true. I'm just checking. It's cool.
He's just, yeah.
And no reason in particular. That'll come back at some point in the possible future of this episode.
Oh, you
no, I'm not, you know. See, if you make it a bit, then maybe it'll happen.
That's as somebody who makes a lot of bits of this nature, like that's not
maybe the off, like maybe the peer pressure.
No. Peer pressure off camera is not the same as on camera peer pressure.
It's not. No,
if you put like a mystery liquid in front of me right now, because I'm on stream, there's like at least 5% more chance that I would drink it as opposed to off stream.
Not to mention that the moment everyone is wise to what's actually going on, they would actively root for her to not get any energy drinks.
That's correct.
To help us out, because the worse the podcast gets,
I have an actual caffeine addiction. That's stupid, but most everybody does. So whatever.
I I'm definitely at the point where when it's not in my routine, like, it takes me way longer to rev up.
Yeah.
I don't not rev up, but it takes a while.
Well, hey, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Hey, so you have a caffeine of any kind at least once a day?
Yes.
Do you go on you're on a plane or you go somewhere, whatever, and then you just don't have a caffeine for one day?
Well, I take it in the morning to get to the plane.
No, but what I mean is, is there ever a day, oops, I forgot a caffeine today?
Yeah.
Do you feel bad that day?
No. I don't feel bad.
Okay.
It takes me longer to wake up.
Okay.
That's kind of how I go.
Okay.
And if I don't have anything that needs me that day,
Because if you feel bad, that's how you know you got it.
No, if I don't have anything pressing that day, then I don't care about waking up. It's not that important.
Maybe I should just put caffeine packets in water.
I mean,
is that healthier?
I told you about the caffeine pills. And
he offered me caffeine pills at one point.
I know that, it just feels weirder because of the format, but
just rubbing it in my gums.
But it really is like one pill is one cup.
That's,
but it just, you don't like that because pills are usually not that. Pills are usually much stronger than one cup of coffee.
That's not why you don't like that.
Why?
It takes time to drink a drink.
Yes.
You could pop a pill in like a second.
Yes, that's correct. If it's not working, you can do another one.
Yeah, and another one. Yeah. And another one.
But that's also an espresso, right?
Yeah, I don't drink espresso.
When I've done that a couple times.
I don't drink espresso for a stupid reason. Because for most of my life, I called them expressos because express is fast.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that.
And then I got corrected. I felt stupid.
Yep.
And now I don't like them anymore.
The entire beverage.
It's a trick beverage.
One correction.
It's a piece of shit that exists there to mock you.
And that's it.
That's it.
Written off. Banned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I also don't like them at all.
Yeah, they're bitter.
They're very bitter.
But it's a shot.
It's a purpose built food. It's
right?
not a my delicious espresso.
Yeah. You know how one beer is like a shot?
Yeah.
So and it's just a faster way of getting it in you.
Yeah.
It's that basically.
Yeah.
But of course it's still scalding hot, so you can't actually drink it as fast as you want.
You have to wait 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you drink it as
That's why I like the cold brew. And that's why I actually like energy drinks. It's not even about the taste or the taurine.
I prefer cold drinks to hot drinks.
Yeah, I can drink them faster and I can get where I need to be quicker.
Yeah.
I don't need to wait on the temperature of the coffee.
It doesn't scald your butt.
Now, I have been told that that's part of the charm and the ritual is by getting a hot cup of coffee. It forces you to slow down your pace to enjoy it.
Get fucked, old man.
Exactly.
We're living in the information age.
The superhighway is waiting.
I have a podcast I'm already late for nearly every week because I'm a lazy piece of shit.
When is the last time someone's called it the information superhighway?
Did I just call it that?
You called it the information age.
Okay,
I said
okay.
The superhighway.
I dodged it. You didn't. You're old man. Take that. I don't even remember which one of us is older now.
You are.
It's me, right?
Yes.
It's always me.
Always.
What about next year?
Well, we got to do the numbers.
Okay.
Got to crunch on that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even if I were older, look at me.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
But my hair, losing your hair has no indication of age. I lost it early.
Hey, I'm getting grays in the beard. I'm getting pepper. I'm getting salt and pepper in the beard.
I'm also getting pepper.
But I like it. I like it.
It's fine.
I like it as long as it's in the beard and not up top.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I know for a fact that up top it's gonna stay pretty much this shade till I'm 80.
Yeah.
It's just gonna leave more and more.
Yeah. See, the facial can shave and go away. You can get rid of that easy, so it's all flavoring until you don't want it anymore. But yeah, whatever you got up top.
I don't know.
I've
I've had this for so long that if I get rid of it, people are like, "Fucking, where'd your fucking head go, you fucking baby weird egg person?"
I'm gonna let everyone in on a secret.
What's the secret?
Oh
no.
I'm probably gonna stick with the blonde dreads in the state that my hair is in
Yeah.
for a while.
I don't believe you.
I'm gonna stick this way
I
for
believe
a while.
I believe that you believe you,
yeah.
but I don't believe you.
So here's why that's gonna happen. It's because every time you color them up, you gotta bleach them back.
Yeah.
And it does a little bit of damage, not
Yeah.
that much. But the last time, it got a little bit dicey.
Uh-huh.
Right? And like the bleach came off, and I washed everything and rinsed it, and it felt weaker than it ever has.
And it was like, oh, blood.
And I was like,
My hair is
I don't
bleeding?
want, yeah, there's a strength
Yeah.
to your dreads. There's literally a power
So
to
what
them.
is the end result if you overdo it? Like, it's just literally like a dread will just pop off, right?
Look at the length of this one.
Yeah.
Look at the length of
Did
this
it pop
one.
off?
Yeah, a couple of these on this side actually shortened up. I wanted the trim look because of the Killmongering style anyway, but ultimately a couple of the short ones were not voluntary.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, time to lighten up on that. That's how that goes.
By stop lightening it up.
There's a yeah.
It's bleach.
Yeah. Each dread has a health bar on it.
Bleach is the most toxic thing you can put on your body.
Each dread has a health bar on it, and I manipulate them accordingly for the style I want to look like. But like, there's a couple, because the ones in the back are way stronger than the ones up front.
Yeah.
Because the ones in the back just kind of sit there and power up.
Yeah.
They don't get used as much, whereas the front lines get used all the time. And when you do like a ponytail, like the ones in the front are getting yanked, and the ones in the back are not. Therefore, it's a whole thing.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Hair
Yeah.
has things going on with it.
Yeah. Even when you had yours, you never really let it grow out.
Nah, not really. Let it grow out to hobo length at one point and then immediately go. Because my hair is all like, not only did this middle part decide to leave real early, even when you first met me and I was 17, it was already starting to go. But it's also crazy, crazy curly. So not much to be done other than get rid of it.
You also look like disgustingly French when you have full hair.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want that, but I'm assuming you don't.
Occasionally for a fun, maybe.
Like horribly French. Like really, you look really.
I'm actually unfamiliar with this new new judgment.
There is a quality. There's a slider of Frenchness that just gets ticked way the fuck up.
My first name isn't Pat. It's actually Jean. I become JP.
Jean, exactly. The J starts to get drawn in, and the JP, Jean Patrick.
Oh no.
No.
Gross.
Yeah. What'd you play?
The usual, but Warframe's back this week. They did the night waves, and a bunch of them are broken. Good job, guys. You did it. So to clarify, Nightwave is this thing that Warframe does. They used to have this alert system where, like, at any random time of the day, it's like, hey, there's an alert. You can get this item, right? And
Like
it would
an
be
app on your phone.
It'd be up for like 2 hours, and you get an app on your phone. And that alert system sucked ass for a number of reasons. One is getting a ping on your phone when you're out of the house means shit, right? And the other thing is that certain things would just like not show up for like a full month. It's like, hey man, I need to get the head part for Valbon. Am I at home when it No. And also, it's not on an alternate cycle. It's on a 24-hour cycle.
And you have 2 hours?
It's 3, 5, 30 minutes. Like, whatever.
Drop what you're doing and go log in.
The other thing is that the rewards for a lot of them were, like, hilarious. So, it's difficult to kick this down the road for somebody who doesn't play the game. But one of the things that you do in the game is you level up mods. Like, you'll get a mod that is, like, plus 10% damage. But if you level it up all the way, it's plus 140% damage, right? That takes a currency called Endo. It takes 40k Endo. an alert would pop up and be like, holy shit, do these 5 waves of defense for 200 endo. And you'd be like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's like literally nothing. Or you can get like 500k like in terms of money, like credits off of like a single mission, and then an alert will pop up and like, only available for 2 hours. You can get 1,500 credits for this interception mission, which takes 22 minutes. Like, you'd be like, no. So it sucked.
Bad deal.
So they invented this new thing, which is kind of like a battle pass, where it's every week. There's a series of challenges. You do the challenges, you get points, you rank up the thing over a series of like 12 weeks.
Yep.
It's always been fun loading into these because this is their second time around. They've improved it somewhat. But like week 2, oh wow, the shittiest challenge from the entire last series is back immediately. And now it's twice as valuable. And thank God somebody helped me do it, because I would not have been able to do it. And one of them is one of the fucking challenges for the week is bugged and doesn't show up on the list. The only reason I knew to do it was that I accidentally did it. But I just did it. And then it popped. I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. But cool, I got it. Yeah. Awesome.
Is the challenge system something where most games that do that kind of... Well, no. How should I put this? Have you ever had something where, like, the thing they're asking you to do is really boring compared to the reward you're supposed to get?
Yes.
And you've tapped out?
Hell yeah.
Okay. So you're not willing to do whatever fuck just to get the
there's
thing.
a Warframe streamer man named DK Diamentes. He's a nice man. I'm in his clan. I was like, hey, give me a spot. And he gave me a spot. If I had not gone into that clan chat and been like, somebody fucking help me do these goddamn Silver Grove Spectre bullshit, I would not have done it.
Because that's me.
Because it sucks.
Yeah. I look and I go, I want that reward.
Right.
And then I see the thing, the pathway to it, and if it looks abysmal,
Yeah.
I'm not in, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm someone in... And here's the thing is that, like, in real life, whenever we're trying to set up a game or something's not working, I'll sit there for hours and tinker until it works.
That's right.
I'll do that.
There's a difference between turning something on and, like, just working at it and it sucks.
And versus the reward of it. I like literally just this weekend trying to figure out how to get into the Ghibli Museum was such a nightmarish task that, like, eventually when an application went through, I basically got to the point of I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And I love Ghibli. And it would be great, but everyone involved, it was just like, nah, this is so dumb and obfuscated that the reward is not worth it. I'm not going to care whether or not I actually end up getting this. It sucks. Now, that existing in an MMO on a regular basis, not an MMO, but a loot shooter.
Dude, at this point, I don't know what Warframe is.
Okay. But do you point at the thing that you're like, that part would help me make the cool
So what
thing?
they did is you
and
only
then you
have
go,
to,
I want the cool
it's
thing?
a 12-week thing. You only have to complete 60% of all of the things to max it out. Specifically so that once or twice a week, you can go, fuck that one. I ain't doing that one. Fuck it.
But then what if that frame is going to get archived?
No, this is a totally different thing.
Oh, okay.
What Nightwave gets you, basically,
It doesn't get you a part that lets you get a frame?
No.
Oh, okay.
What Nightwave does is it gives you the ability to get unique weapon mods. Not a big deal.
Okay.
Unique types of whatever. A couple unique little nice things that don't matter.
Yep.
Some cosmetics that are unique to it. And the final thing, like rank 30, is always a cosmetic that is pretty much never going to come back. And it's, hey, did you reach rank 30 in this season of Nightwave? Then here is a fancy cosmetic for you to show that you did it. And those cosmetics are spectacular.
Okay.
They have so far been like some of the best cosmetic things they've ever put in the game. And it's like, I don't care about ranks 1 to 29. I just want that rank 30 reward. That's it. It's a pretty skin for my space doll.
See, every time you guys talk to me about like these moments and these types of elements that are like crucial to
Yeah.
the reward system in these games.
Daily, weekly, whatever, etc.
Like it's not poison,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like it is
Gruel.
it is a magnet pushing against me.
Oh, yeah.
That like if I walk forward, that pushes me back.
So there is a
less
core
than zero
of
interest in
this
that.
that you're not seeing because no one's talking about it, and that is I like jumping around and shooting things in Warframe.
Yeah.
So just slightly directing me towards an interception mission instead of a defense one when I was going to play Warframe anyway.
Yeah.
Shrug. And there's like occasionally there'll be one like I wasn't gonna do that, but it's like, oh yeah, I'll go get some fish. I could use some fish in Warframe,
Right.
or whatever.
I learned a lot about like how much I'm willing to put up with when I was playing Monster Hunter World.
Monster Hunter Worlds is terrible.
You know?
Monster Hunter Worlds implementation of that shit is awful. It is really, really bad, and it is new to World. It did not exist in the old games. They would give you every week you'd get event quests, and they'd be like, "Here's the new event quest," and they would just stay forever. And if you wanted to do them, you'd do them.
Yeah.
None of this weekly festival fucking crap.
Yeah. It that taught me my limits, you know.
Yeah.
I look at one thing and be like, do the requirements to get to that thing, and that it gives me the next one that's like the better version of that thing, and I'm like, nah. I'm good. I'm good. Oh, hey, look, Dante.
You're good being bad.
You know. Yeah. It is what it is.
So, like, a good example is 14's like way of doing it is, okay, grind up all the classes I want, blah, 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 blah. Say I'm at the equilibrium, right? I want to do the new content stuff when it comes out. Like, I want to do, oh, there's a new raid that came out, or, oh, there's a new boss, right? By playing that half hour a day and getting the currency to buy the fancy new gear, I go into that later boss fight more prepared to actually complete it, as opposed to just not.
Yeah.
And basically the times that I fall off, like you've noticed that with 14, I play it for like super hard, and then I fall off for 6 months. That 6 month period is I don't want to log in every day. I don't want to do these things every day. So then I just stop playing for 6 months.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's why, of all these genres, if they're smart, they put in catch-up mechanics. See, like in a fighting game, in the round, you have a comeback mechanic. In the grindy ones, you have a catch-up mechanic. It's like a big round in a fighting game.
Cute.
It gets you more meter,
So what I was
so that you can do the super, which is the encounter,
Hey,
like a fighting game.
Hey, fuckstick. Listen, in the situations when I play and get into something that I'm actively playing daily, like there was a point where I was playing Darkest Dungeon daily.
Yeah.
Or there was a point where I was playing Into the Breach daily.
Yeah.
Right? Those are things where it's just like, I'm thinking about that gameplay no matter what.
Yeah.
So I understand.
I'm just gonna play it.
Yeah. So anything else you put in it or throw at it or whatever, why not? Because I'm going to be here playing it anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, to run a fucking dungeon with 4 antiquarians, I'll give you 10k monies.
Yeah,
Whatever.
full on understand that, and I would say that if there was a loop in one of these games where that was happening, where I felt like I'm logging in because I want to feel this gameplay today every day for a while, then yeah, that would totally work for me. But the core needs to hit that point where I give it that much of a shit.
That's why it's easier to get people into Warframe than it is to get into Final Fantasy, because way more people enjoy jumpy, shooty, run, melee swords than MMO button clickies.
Whereas if you were to make that little extra bit the core of what you're supposed to do, / the core of what's supposed to appeal to you, and then the actual daily gameplay thing is not really much. It's like it's mainly about that reward. You lost me.
Yeah,
you know.
This is why when the Stormblood expansion came out, I out of the 2-year expansion time, I played that game for maybe 6 months, because I like to play a certain class, and that class stopped being fun to play the visuals with its abilities, the flow of what it just didn't like it.
Yep.
So barely played. Now I like it, so I'll play more, and that's that. That's how that works. Also, I finished Hat in Time's Yakuza Metro.
Hat in Time's what?
Yakuza Metro.
Is that a campaign DLC?
Yeah, it is a campaign DLC. It's an extra world they added.
Cool.
It's called Yakuza because the Yakuza are cats. Nya.
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah.
It is the most overt, we love this other game series thing in a game I have ever seen, ever.
Okay.
Because it's shot like the Yakuza series. There are vendors which sell you foods which combine to give you bonuses like the Yakuza series. And there is a secret boss fight with Meowjima,
Wow.
who jumps out of a manhole and yells, "Kiwami means extreme," and calls you Hat Kid-chan.
Okay.
And also, apparently, that's my fault, because the Yakuza 0 LP got the Hat in Time people into Yakuza.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And I made the joke, haha, ha, you know, I make the funny, silly joke, haha, I created Hat in Time. And then a guy ats me in chat, he was like, actually, the team got into Yakuza because of the 0 LP.
What's that joke?
What's that? Oh, that I invented Warframe, sports, rap, music, etc. I invented these things.
You invented Hat in Time?
I invented Hat in Time.
How?
I wore a hat once.
Okay.
Therefore.
Got it.
But no, this one's actually for real.
Okay.
On this one. So, you're welcome. But yeah, no, that's a fantastic piece of DLC. That game is so A+ all the time, except for everything about the way the game runs and functions.
See,
it fights me every time I stream it. Every time I streamed it, I would at the first 10 minutes is I can't see it. They can see it, but it's a white screen for me.
now I have to say I'm very curious about like your aversion to the Banjo-Kazooie type games.
Oh, because Banjo-Kazooie sucks. I played it once when I was a child, and it sucked ass.
But what about those types of games?
You mean like 3D platformers?
Yeah.
I love all the Mario games. And
Okay.
Hat in Time's great.
Okay.
Banco.
And Crash Bandicoot and Spyro.
Crash Bandicoot's awesome, but it sucks.
Spyro.
Spyro, I've never played. Never played it once.
Ukulele.
I heard that was a worse Banjo-Kazooie, which means it would suck times 2. I just think Banjo looks like a stupid idiot.
Okay. I thought you hand wove everything.
Nah, man.
Okay.
I was still, when we were playing Mario Odyssey. I was right there playing Mario Odyssey with you guys. I don't know if I like Hat in Time better than Mario Odyssey. I think I brought this up the last time, like I was playing it a bunch. Something about the movement and like the tone, and it's also about 1/10 as long, but doesn't feel like there's like every timepiece, which is your fucking star, moon, whatever the fuck, has a unique level to it. It's not just like, hey, you butt stomped on this fucking treasure map spot, idiot. You get a moon.
Yeah. No, I definitely grabbed it and meant to take a look much earlier.
Like some of the DLC isn't out on all the
Just never got around to it.
platforms, and it's like it's weird. And also, I encountered this awful bug, which like basically killed the cutscene of the Yakuza Metro DLC. Like it just didn't play.
Oh, okay.
And it was the cool cutscene that sets it up with the cat crime people and the whole thing. And I was sad, and then I didn't play it, and then they fixed it the next day with the patch notes going, "Sorry, Pat." And I'm like, oh.
Right,
Okay.
right. Yeah, right.
But then I still had to go into the console and force the cutscene to play in the cheat console.
Yeah, man. No, I remember like at some point last year when I was trying to get a one-off together for that, but
It's fucking good.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
yeah.
It's also adorable. Hat Kid's the best.
She looks cool.
Use hats. You know what one of the hats is? time stop. It's just straight up time stop.
Well, duh.
Yeah.
It's the name of the game.
Like, people kept saying, like, oh, Pat, you can't do this. Just wait for time stop. And I'm like, haha, funny meme, guys. Good memes. Oh, I was the meme after all.
I'm still thinking about Galaxy.
Yeah?
Really liked Galaxy.
Yeah, you know why? Because you're right. It's good, and you should like it.
Yeah.
And you were right to like it. And are you talking Galaxy 1 or 2?
I didn't play Galaxy 2.
Guess what? It's really good.
Yeah.
It's more Galaxy.
Yeah.
They should re-release that.
And because I was talking about it on something recently when we were talking about Odyssey and Mario games, and someone pointed out, someone wrote a big thing about why Galaxy is not as good as Odyssey, and I remember just reading it and going like,
No, shut up.
No, I just couldn't disagree more. I had a really good time with that game.
Mario 3D Land also very high quality.
Planet to planet gameplay was super fun and refreshing, and I enjoyed it.
Do you think it's stupid that you can't just play both Odysseys and 3D Land and 3D World on the Switch right now?
Both Odysseys?
Yeah, but whatever. The planet.
Galaxy.
There it is. This is tough. This is tough today. This is a tough podcast. This is a hard work.
Difficulty is very high.
You should be able to play every Mario game of note on every Nintendo system that comes out.
Yeah, sure. A lot of things should be.
Yeah.
And certain things are not.
Yeah.
But I am a full-on fan of that which is.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree, sure. Mario should be playable. And I should be able to play Galaxy on my Switch.
Did you play Tekken?
Did you play Tekken?
So, I saw a bunch of people on my timeline going, oh yeah, Tekken, I got a Wesker deck.
Okay, hold on. Did you play Tekken or did you launch the app?
Neither. But follow me on this journey. So I'm sitting there going, everybody on my timeline's talking about their Rathalos deck or their Wesker deck, and I'm like, what happened? And then I'm like, oh, it's Tekken. So I'm like, hey, is Tekken good or is it just free? Is it a good? What's happened? And then somebody posted like a GIF of like a fucking Donald Glover like from Community going, yeah, it's good, right? And I'm like, whatever. And then people were like, it's a free card game. It's sure, right? And then I went back and looked and like, oh, that was the @PlayTeppen account.
Yeah.
And then started the Silence brand. And I was like, yes, brands. But did you play Tekken? Okay, because
I played it.
Okay, good. Because this is where I want to go. What Tekken?
You didn't play Tekken?
Nah.
Did you download Tekken?
Nah. But I saw that you could have somebody's like, I'm enjoying Tekken since I got my Nergigante deck. And I'm like, what?
Tekken is proof that Capcom versus Capcom could work no problem.
Because there's a shit zillion characters.
Easy.
There's so many. If you have enough characters to make a fucking collectible card game.
Exactly. It's proof that it'd be fucking cake to make it. I played enough Tekken to do what? What did I do? I did the tutorial, which is a couple fights. The moment you start it up, you have to do a Ryu tutorial series of like maybe 3 or 4 fights.
Yeah.
With like little cut scenes in between, and then I unlocked Dante.
Yeah.
So you play through Dante's story, and then you unlock him as a deck. It's a card game.
How does it work?
But it's like,
do I put the...
Well, here's the problem now. This is where my complete lack of experience with this genre...
No, this is good. Use that.
Use it. Comes in to bite me in the ass, because there's timing attack lines.
Oh, that's not normal.
So things are happening on an ATB-ish system.
Oh, that's really not normal.
Yeah, so it's not like my turn, your turn. It is put your thing down, put your card down, and you have 3 lanes, and as soon as you put a card in that lane, then the damage number coming off of that will create a line of that damage going to your opponent. And if they have 3 cards in that lane, then you'll either attack the card, and if they have no card there, you attack the user.
Yeah, okay, that's Hearthstone rules.
Is that it? Okay.
And Magic rules is like cards are there to protect you
Okay,
from damage.
But do these things have timing lines?
No.
Yeah.
It's near universally. Okay, I played my card. Okay, you played your card. Now I'm dead.
Yeah, so this has active time play, and like there's an element of like, oh shit, get my defense thing in place before it comes. Oh no, the line's right there. So there is time involved in it.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand much either. But you can also do things like,
Are you comboing?
You can do combo.
You can do combo
because you can drag certain cards from your deck. So you have 5 at the bottom of that from your thing, and they all refresh after a certain one gets played.
Okay.
And then some of them you can grab and drop them on your opponent or like in the ring or on their card or whatever, and then it'll do like it'll stop the action. It'll stop all the lines.
Okay.
And then I think they have to answer back with their card, and then you can stack and stack and stack and go back.
So I have a question for you. So people are saying, "Oh, my Wesker deck or my Dante deck." Does that mean it's like you have Dante and it's Devil May Cry characters, or it's like Rebellion as a card, or what?
Okay, so I have a Dante deck, or rather, I have Dante. As a character,
you have Dante,
right?
Yeah.
And he's there, and he's like got his sword on his back.
Dante, hey.
But then in his deck,
Yeah.
is a bunch of other Capcom characters on cards. Or like Ryu, for example,
Yeah.
has Ryu there, but then he has a Sean card, he has a Sakura card,
Okay.
and then he has a bunch of other characters that are from just random Capcom
Okay.
characters, and then you play those.
Okay.
And then when you get Ryu's special moves, like his Shinku Hadouken,
Those are attack cards or whatever?
that he does
Okay.
as Ryu. But pretty much having Ryu as your avatar
I'm looking at screenshots right now.
is less of a thing, and it's more like
It's Dante versus weirdly sexy X. Have you seen that design?
new X, yeah.
What's up with the thong, man?
It's X was
So
feeling
probably the
confident.
weirdest part is I look at a screenshot of like what the game looks like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
even happening. Yeah.
It is very unclear from a glance.
After playing a bunch of them, I'm still unclear exactly what's happening.
Dynamic animations. Oh, that's to make your
Yeah.
stupid brain go.
I have to say this. You know when you take like a single like CG painting and then Photoshop smudge the shit out of it to make it
Yeah.
do the
Vanillaware.
flat animation thing.
Yeah.
This is doing the maximum with that.
Okay.
This is like as much as you can get, but it's still a bouncing painting.
Oh, let's see. This is made by Gung Ho. This is not a Capcom game.
Well, there you go. It's doing big painting, squash and stretch and slide and smudge. But
Did you have fun?
I didn't really understand what was happening. However, and it made me go, is this the Grand Blue? Is this
No.
how
That's different.
the Hearthstones?
That's a much dumber different.
Well, in any case,
The Hearthstone, maybe.
yeah. And it actually, it's funny enough, it reminded me of the auto chess games that I was playing a little bit
seems to
earlier.
be actually part of the
Right.
formula.
It feels like that, where you just kind of like, you pick the thing and then it goes. And then they pick their thing and then they go. And then you clash against each other and then you until...
I'm going to ask people this later or now or whatever, but like, because currently being a Hearthstone player, part of the gameplay formula is suffering because Hearthstone sucks. And the only people that tell me that are people who play Hearthstone. People are unhappy with the way Blizzard's treating that game. And I don't know if this game even is has been alive long enough for people to know whether or not part of it is suffering.
The real question and the honest question, because you can't ask me if it was good or not, because I don't know what the fuck a good card game is. I don't have that.
All right, well, who are
information.
you right now? Are you a consumer or are you the person making the card game?
The question is would I play this if it didn't have Capcom characters in it?
No. Of course not.
Hard pass. Yeah.
Wooly, there are fighting games that you probably wouldn't have played if they didn't have Capcom characters in it. Like Capcom fucking Evolution. Would you have played a game that looked like Capcom Evolution if it didn't have Capcom characters in it?
Capcom Fighting Jam? No, I would not have.
So,
Well, that's not true. I would have, because I actually...
well, you're a weird idiot.
I strive to play to play almost all
Yeah, but
of
you know
them.
what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. But anyway.
Having recognizable characters that you like is both cheap and important.
Yeah, so
which is weird. I don't know how to feel.
right.
About
So
that.
I'm looking at all my Morrigan art and my Virgils and my X's and my Seans and my Oros, and I'm like,
you go,
hey,
I know that.
Hey, that's the
It's endorphins.
yeah.
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
I clapped when I saw it. I
you?
remember.
Yeah.
But
Did you buy when you saw it?
no, I didn't
See,
spend-
that's the
no,
real
no,
that's
no.
the real kicker.
I think it's probably like I don't know where it stacks up compared to the other games of that type, but like it certainly is a time waster.
I have a
It doesn't really feel like it doesn't. It didn't feel at that level like there was much to do besides like race the line.
yeah. I spoke to somebody, and the number one like thumbs up for it compared to other ones is that it's fast.
Yeah, it is
Because
the
matches are fast.
it forces you to play quickly and drop things before you get attacked. Because when you take that damage, then you can stack it and shit like that. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it does seem a little bit simple, and like I'm not sure how complex matches can get. And,
Well, see, that's because you're an idiot. You
Yeah.
don't know anything about cards, man.
But
there's so much hidden depth.
well, MTG has all kinds of crazy meta to it, right?
MTG is I believe it invented the word meta.
Right. So there's all that shit.
I got my green deck so that I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna try.
Tap your card.
Yeah, tap it.
Yeah. All I know is that this is it's a time waster, and it felt pretty similar to the auto chess type of thing, where you're just like, you can just, but in this case, you're dicking around with time with characters and faces that you know, and there's some sort of cutscene plot with the mysterious robed lady being weird, and then
Same as every crossover
whatever
thing ever.
ever, new character talking and shit.
Because I saw Max did a stream of it. I was like,
Yeah.
really?
It was and
Then again, Max is like the fucking Capcomist mark ever.
it's also funny because like this mysterious new robed like person like in any OG game or whatever would like walking around finding all these characters and basically saying the thing to get them to go into the portal, go to the Shadow Realm, go to the Netherlands.
Hey Dante, there's pizza in that portal.
She goes to Ryu and is like, the answer that you search is in there. And it's like, oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, then I suppose I'll go.
Yeah, totally. Ryu.
And then like with Dante, she actually shows him Mundus
Yeah.
like doing some shit, and he's like, oh, fuck that, I'm going in.
I'm gonna punch that guy.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
So it's just kind of like just show you whatever you need to see because you're stupid, and then you'll go in the door.
Hey Chris, like a bottle of Leon's cum is on the other side of that portal. A whole bottle of it.
He's already in there. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd he go? Where'd Chris go?
Anyway, I hope to see the return one day of badass Arthur from Ghouls and Ghosts, Ghosts and Goblins.
I would be shocked that he's not in it already.
Because Marvel 3 had him, and that was cool, and he got the gold armor, and that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, that's fun. That's a really fun Arthur. But does no one remember Cannon Spike?
No.
In Cannon Spike, he was in a giant mecha version of that armor, and it was sick.
Nobody knows about Cannon Spike.
It was really, really cool.
Well, the only reason I know about Cannon Spike is you telling me about Cannon Spike.
Had some fun designs in it. It had some really fun designs.
I believe you.
And it saved Lin Kurosawa from the AVP games.
That's true.
Turning her into a Capcom exclusive character.
And then she went on to star in many crossover properties, such as Nothing.
Yep. I don't know, man. Get Teppen. See what you think. I don't know.
I'll probably try Teppen.
It has characters you care about in it. You're forced to.
There's the fact that there's like Monster Hunter
Like
monsters.
a Rathalos is a main.
There's something weird about treating Monster Hunter monsters as characters.
Yes. The Rathalos.
Yeah.
There it is. The Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's weird.
Yeah. What else are you gonna do? There's no fucking character in it. I mean, they could have picked like I don't know, one of the NPCs that helps you out because that's a person.
Ace Cadet's probably in there. There's one guy in the dumbass idiot with like the half shaved head is the redhead, the other hunter that's got the cool handler that meets you on the boat,
the guy that's related to the general.
Yeah, that dude's the young kid, like, and you fucking that dude know that he's from 4.
Okay.
That's a character.
Okay.
And he used to be called the Ace Cadet, and now he's just...
Wait, no. You're talking about the guy with the big sword that sits there that's cool.
No. I'm talking about the redheaded kid.
Okay.
That has the serious handler.
Yeah, okay.
The first person to talk to you on the boat.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there? But didn't you also tell me that the guy who sits with the big, like,
The
katana-
longsword? Yeah, that's the dude from Monster Hunter 2.
Yeah. It's a character. It's a dude from an old game. Yeah. Exactly.
No, I don't... He's not a character. He's a hunter from Monster Hunter 2.
Okay.
Like, he is like, look, hey, guys. Hey, nerds. You guys like Monster Hunter 2?
You mean the second expedition?
Yeah. Alternatively, he could be from Monster Hunter 1, depending, because the Rathian armor that he's wearing, Rathian was like the flagship added to Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, or whatever. It was like, Rathian was the first, like, new flagship after Rathalos.
There's no real, like, set way to create a character game and hunt generic monster game into a thing where you have a recognizable
The characters are
thing.
totally the monsters. Like,
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Like, people talk about
Or the hunter.
People talk about, like, Final Fantasy, not Final Fantasy, fucking Capcom roster. Like, oh, is Guile in it?
Yeah.
You talk about Monster Hunter game. Is fucking is Gormagala in it? Pass. I don't fucking. Oh man.
But yeah, so but they definitely, by seeing that, and by what else did I see? I saw another character on the list of shadowy faces that you'll get to control.
And you're
that
like,
makes
oh,
me
it's-
think that, like, they're not just going for, like, all the flagship poster people, but they're also picking, like, one or two, like, weirdos in there.
Yeah.
So that's cool, because that's the main thing as well, is, like, you know, we talked about how Capcom has such an awesome roster. It's like, to capitalize on that fully, you gotta go for some of the interesting picks.
The Predator from Aliens.
You're
and
not,
Predator.
no, not allowed.
Okay. Yeah. You don't know that.
What I don't get, well, I don't know why it's called Teppen though. Like, why is it actually called Teppen?
Okay. It probably means a word. It probably mean a word.
The King of Iron Foot tournament.
Okay, I'm gonna look. Isn't there that MMA thing called Tepu?
Tepu.
Okay,
Yeah.
What's Tep?
I don't know what Tepu.
What's Tep?
I don't know what it
Tepi?
is. I have no idea.
Teppen meaning.
Apex
I bet it
first.
means something. I bet it's a word. What does it mean? Oh, what does it mean in Japanese? It means top summit apex
Okay.
and your scalp. So it's the scalp fighter. Teppen means top.
All right, that's all right.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nailed it. I did it. I brought meaning to your life.
So yeah, I'm looking through the like playable decks here, and from what I can see, yeah, you got like Chun-Li, X, Rathalos, Ryu, Dante, Morrigan, Wesker,
Yeah.
and then Nergigante.
Yeah.
Nergigante is a playable character.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, man.
I saw a lot of people talking like, oh, I really like his deck because you can shoot the spikes. And I'm like, okay. That appeals to me because I know that monster.
But I also saw people that I know, like, for a long time posting replays of, like, them playing the Dragon Ball card game, and it just looks like the least interesting
Oh,
thing
yeah,
in the
all
world
these
to
look
me.
terrible when you don't know.
It just,
They look like the worst.
like, it just looks like not fun.
Same thing with MMO gameplay.
It's just like, oh, I'm drawing, what did I draw? I drew a
Like,
Broly!
go look at a fucking, like, somebody's POV raid video. Oh, first world ninja clear on some bullshit. You're like, this looks like fucking crap. This is awful.
Anyway. So that's Teppen, I suppose.
Same thing with fighting games. You don't know what's happening? Oh, look at this stupid crap.
No,
This-
man.
This is
It's
dumb.
two people punching and kicking,
Nah, man.
and
Same
then there's
thing
a
with the
life bar.
RTS. You don't know what's happening? Oh, look at this dumb units everywhere. This is crappy.
Depends which one.
Nah, it's poop. See, here's the thing. You're right, but to most people, you're wrong.
What game is the hardest to understand just by watching its gameplay?
Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah?
There's no graphics.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Fair.
Dwarf Fortress doesn't have fucking graphics.
Remember Homeworld? I think it was called Homeworld. It was like 3D strat RPG. It was like, and the camera would be rotating around a 3D ship battle.
I don't know what you're
And I remember just always being like, how do you game? Like, I'd just always be, every time I looked at it, I was like, I don't understand where you click. What but how?
What game? What game do people enjoy that's the shittiest to watch is the real question.
Hearthstone?
Soccer.
I don't think Hearthstone is fun to watch.
The answer is soccer. Take that, 95% of the planet.
I don't know. You ever watch a game of cricket?
I have no. I don't. They have a flat bat. That's what I know about cricket.
Yeah. And you got to hit the wicket.
Yeah.
Hit the wicket when you play cricket.
Cricket's like a joke game made that. If cricket wasn't real and somebody told me about cricket, I would think that it is a joke game made to make fun of the English because it's so fucking stupid sounding.
You know, you don't pitch the ball, eh?
Yeah, it's on like a tee or something.
You bowl.
You bowl the ball.
You bowl. That's what you got to do. It's got to hit the ground first.
I don't know, man. Cricket's dumb. Soccer's stupid. Rugby's cool.
Rugby is very cool.
I've discovered that when I talk about sports, the more violence is in your sport, the more I enjoy it.
The interesting thing about rugby is that people get hurt less because the lack of armor means you're not trying. You're
not trying to push past the armor.
You're subconsciously like pulling your hits a little bit to not destroy yourself.
But since there's armor there, you're like, I can
you
just
go
hit
all
him
the
as hard
way
as
in.
you possibly can.
Yeah. Yeah, rugby's nuts, but it's interesting. Like, you get fucked up in rugby.
Yeah.
But not as bad in the impact.
You don't get nearly as much of the brain damage as you get in the football.
You don't get the ket.
Because you don't got that nice armor to bounce your brain around in.
Yeah. Also, they do haka.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they do. What'd you play, man? Aside from Teppen. Or do. With your life.
Okay, well, so aside from Teppen,
did you enjoy any memes this week?
I enjoyed a meme which will come back a little bit later.
All right,
we'll talk about it.
Hey, we got meme broadcasts.
There was an enjoyable meme. I did play Blazing Chrome.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard about that, but that was...
I saw a trailer for it, and then I scrolled one scroll and saw you playing it.
Yo, do you like Contra?
I do.
Do you like
As
Super
you can tell
Contra?
from the Newcastle Super Beast logo, this gang likes Contra.
Do you like Hardcore?
Yeah. No. I know. That's the 3D one, right?
No.
Okay.
It's the 2D one with the not main characters in it.
That's fine.
It's the Contra with the other guys.
Shattered Soldier, I don't like.
Yeah, we're not talking about Shattered Soldier. We're not talking about Neo Contra.
Yeah, I know.
We're talking not the dog. We're not running on the blades.
Oh, they're running so fast.
We're not doing it. We're talking about the 2D run and hold up and shoot.
Hold that button and then you shoot in a circle.
And jump and flip and pick up the weapon. Yeah, you like
Is
that?
Is this one of those games that's like, it's not Contra, big wink?
It is the biggest possible wink.
Yeah.
Like, every sprite in the game is pretty much like a Contra sprite. It's kind of crazy, but it's original and beautiful, and the cutscenes are done amazingly well. And they're definitely doing the cheating thing where it's like, yeah, that cutscene looked way too good for a Super Nintendo. But
yeah,
it looks amazing.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. The characters are all designed really sick.
Super Nintendo in your mind. Dude.
And the fun part about it is that you have two characters, main girl and robot dude, and they do the Contra. And then you unlock Ninja and Punch Girl.
Good.
And Ninja and Punch Girl, when you use them, it's fucking Strider.
Oh.
So same stages.
But now it's Strider.
But now you're Stridering through. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, and they don't get different weapon pickups. They get just a slash, a charged slash, and like an air dash.
That's great.
It's really cool. Really, really smart.
That seems like it would be really hard to make stages to accommodate both of those.
You can, and they did. Also, they have the ability to flip the stage from right to left and just have you running to the left, and it's really weird to do that, but it's an interesting enough remake.
No.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
So it has ride armor in it. So it's like Super C and like Mega Man X and like Metal Slug. There's a bunch of Metal Slug in it as well. You jump in the robot and you walk and do the mecha thing until it blows up. You jump out. When you up close, you press the gun button to do a melee.
Right.
So Metal Slug knifing is a thing. Down and jump, crouching jump is roll. No iframes on it, but it's very fast.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, just fun bosses. Nice, like, selective use of, instead of like the flying weapons that like you pick your Contra gun. Instead here you get the option to pick between 4 different weapon types that are pretty good. They're almost like Raiden style weapons, like the shmup. Or defense shield, speed, and double jump, or an option that shoots double firepower.
Okay, so you got a ton. Okay.
Really, really fun stuff like that. And yeah, pretty short all in all, but just a clean, solid throwback. Feels really brutal at times, but
yeah,
everything can be memorized, and thus the challenge is limited to your ability to pick up the pattern.
But I'm bad now.
Well, you die and then you get good.
Okay.
Yeah, so beat it, actually, in that sitting, played it with Min, who...
I saw Min platinumed it.
By now, probably.
Yeah. No, I mean, he posted on Twitter yesterday. He's like, platinum.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he fucking loves Contra.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, shit. Like
that's his jam.
Back when we were testing Contra 4, like, he was the best one in the office at it. So, like, that makes perfect sense. Not harder than Contra 4. Contra 4 still...
I never fucking actually beat Contra 4.
Yes, Contra 4 still the fucking...
I beat it on easy, and then it told me to get fucked and to come back and beat the real final level.
You don't even get to the final level, yeah.
I got there.
Okay, and that was that.
Nah, man.
Yeah. No, yeah. Contra is... Super Contra 4 is, in fact, the Teppen, to use the word.
It's fucked, man.
It's kind of nuts.
That's such a good game, though.
It's very good.
The challenges let you unlock the probotectors.
It's good shit. So yeah, I feel like maybe I'd have to go back and see, but like playing through the first stage with the Striders type characters, like with the Punch Girl, I feel like it might be more my style. I like getting up close and like not having to think about or get used to like just the bullet nonsense of like friendly fire.
Yeah.
There's no friendly fire, but I
okay.
just mean like that in that initial stage of like what is safe and what is not.
Yeah.
Your brain is not parsing between enemy bullets and your own bullets right away. And sometimes the screen gets full of shit.
Yeah.
All kinds of nonsense and explosives are happening, and you don't know what'll kill you and what won't sometimes. But yeah, it is super worth it. If you have any love in your heart for a Contra type game, Blazing Chrome is awesome.
It's a great name too.
Very good name. Amazing 80s music and like classic music. 80s theme over the credits as well. Really good. Unfortunately, fucking copyright strucken by YouTube, so they're making that a pain in the ass.
Awesome.
As is Judgment.
You see, YouTube's actually got new stuff coming down the pipe.
They do, where they just let you cut it out the copyright.
And also, you have to actually, if you do a strike, you actually have to tag the part that's a
manually,
strike.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I appreciate the ability to cut it. It's gonna make for like shittier videos for people to watch at the end of the day.
Yeah,
but
it'll be videos you can make money on, so get fucked.
Yeah, and like recently, like almost every week we've had problems. It's kind of crazy. So between the JoJo video, between Mortal Kombat, Blazing Chrome, Judgment, like fucking everything I've put up recently has had some shit getting flagged on it, and it sucks. So yeah, there's gonna be.
I don't even pay attention anymore.
Yeah,
I get my email just gets fucking full of like, because I'm putting up like unedited 4, 5, 6 hour things.
Yeah,
I get an email almost every single day. It's like, hey, we've inappropriate content, whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, fine, fuck it.
Yeah,
fuck it, fuck you.
So that's really annoying, but anyway. Blah. So that's Blazing Chrome. I also had a brief little stint playing some of them racing games that I did, those kart racing games that I didn't.
You talking about CTR?
CTR and TSR. CTR.
Trash Super Racing?
So CTR, Crash Team Racing.
Yeah.
That's a fun kart game.
Yes, I've heard good things.
That's a fun kart game.
I remember playing the demo ancient ago.
Same. That's the only thing I played, yeah.
And I remember being like, this is better than it should be.
So I played that demo way back, and I was like, oh yeah, that feels like a normal card ass game. This time around with the newer one, like played that 3 players in battle mode and racing and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, this is fun. This is fun. The drifting system takes a minute to get used to because it's different from Mario Kart. In Mario Kart, you just drift and you counter steer the other way, and then you go and whatnot. You looking for those blue sparks.
Yeah. Well, it depends.
Right.
They changed it all over the top.
Okay, well, you're generally looking for those blue sparks, and then you let it go and you rock it.
Yeah.
In this case, you hold one trigger button to jump and start drifting while you counter steer, and then a meter fills up. And when that meter fills up, you press the other trigger button to boost.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And if you wait too long, you can't boost anymore.
Okay.
But if you boost properly, you can do it a second time and then a third time.
Okay.
So it's a different skill, but it's ultimately still a fun thing to do. Lots of bullshit items.
Yes.
Right, which is what you're looking for.
Yes.
And bullshit application of items and whatnot. Yeah, man, just wacky, stupid shit. I had a good time with that. And all in all, like, I feel like I get it. I get what people really like.
Those games are fun.
About
Did you ever
Crash
play
Team Racing.
Blur?
No.
So Blur was really good, but it super got killed by the fact that it wasn't Mario Kart. It was a driving real ass cars.
Yeah.
Kart racer.
Yeah.
And it was really, really fun because it had Need for Speed style driving physics with kart racer shit. And it was a blast. And it came out right next to Split Second.
Yeah.
If you remember that one.
So Split Second is the one that I remember, and Split Second is the one that I know.
Split Second's fucking awesome right up until you get about halfway through the campaign, and then it turns to shit. How far did you get in that game?
Not that far.
Guess what? It has because you're able to. So racing games have the problem with the fact that you can get out in front of the pack, and then the game stops being fun because there's no racing anymore. You're just rolling around a track. And in Split Second, you could drop buildings on people. And
so are you saying that Split/Second? Don't forget that's the title.
Yeah.
Split/Second.
Fuck off.
So the end, a computer gets better, and then they drop buildings on you, and then you can't beat it.
No, it's way worse than that.
What?
Okay, so I dropped 10 buildings on the guy in second. He is over a lap behind. Okay, final lap.
Rubber banding.
Final lap. I am at top speed with the fastest car in the game. I turn to my rear view and see number 2 driving more than twice as fast as the game allows to rocket past me.
Rubber banding sucks.
It has the most aggressive rubber banding of any racing game I've ever played.
On offense and defense.
Yeah, and the problem is, the game's easy enough that you never see it on defense. But the issue is that when you hit the final lap, you have to intentionally stay in second, or else you can't win. You have to stay in second and then pull ahead in the last 40% of the track.
Yeah.
Or else the AI will pass you.
I never felt that.
It sucked ass. And that game was so much fun and so dumb and so cool.
That's a dumb mistake. That really sucked. Rubber banding, I think it was for a time when we weren't paying attention to that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's easier to deal with when you're dumb.
And then it just became more and more obvious. But at the same time, it's Top Gear never did that, did it?
No.
I don't think it did.
No, Top Gear didn't do it. The realistic racing games didn't do it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and I remember watching a GDC talk about it, and it basically described the problem that it's racing games have a very unique problem in that if you do well enough, you essentially stop playing the game. There's no other racers on the track, and you're just doing time trials.
Yeah.
You wanna have a race.
Yeah.
But if you're good.
Yeah.
You stop having a race and you start playing a time trial, and that sucks. And you have to design around. That's why Mario Kart is so popular, because it's so wacky, zany bullshit.
Yeah.
The blue shell exists to stop that problem.
But couldn't the hardest difficulty simply not just be an AI that drives the perfect line?
Well, the way Forza did it is the difficulty levels were just they took Because Forza was one of those ones like GT where it was like hyper realistic driving model, and so on normal they just removed certain types of friction from the game, and they removed the way anti-lock brakes stutter your car, and stuff like that. And at the highest difficulty, the other drivers are still just driving the line and doing well, but now driving itself is really, really hard because driving a car fast is hard. And that was their way around it.
Okay. Well, yeah, CTR was a ton of fun. Now, when you get into the whole cars that are realistic driving like they're kart racing, Team Sonic Racing, TSR.
Oh, yeah.
That came out.
Supersonic Racing.
Heard a lot of good things about All-Star, Sega All-Star Racing.
Amazing things about All-Star.
Yeah, like game-changing, better than Mario Kart, etc., etc. Yeah. This is not that.
It's not that.
This is not that. And once you get over the questions as to why Sonic is not on foot, why Sonic
They answered that. They answered that question.
Why is that?
So it'd be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably still really boring.
It's really stupid.
For Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Min's explanation was it's because driving is like an art, and it's the art of the craft of the drive that...
Well, we live in a world in which Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games had a part of its trailer going, you'll finally find out who's faster, Sonic or Mario.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And you're like, go fuck yourselves.
Anyway.
It should have been Sonic's the fastest, that Mario crushes the high jump. Done.
So we get this game where Sonic's driving a car, and it just feels bad. Like, the moment the car starts moving, I thought it was just my character.
So you played CTR and then played this immediately afterwards?
Immediately afterwards.
Oh, that's a great... Oh, that's...
And at first I thought it was just my character, and then it's like, no, it wasn't just my character. All of the cars just feel like they're kind of sliding around.
The driving model just sucks, is what you're saying.
Yep, and and here's the thing is, it's the kind of slip and sliding you would want out of a Wipeout and or F-Zero game.
No! But really? That much?
But in this case, it's just bad because you're on a car with wheels. And it's really...
That much slide?
You're fucking... You're what do you want to call it? Like, it's like you're doing laps on an ice hockey table.
That sounds like shit.
It really was not great.
Sounds like a really bad driving model.
Then you take the part where, like, they throw in these items that you're supposed to use to fuck with everyone while you're racing and whatever, but there's really only like 4 of them. There's the boost, there's a shot,
yeah,
and then there's like leave a thing behind you, and then
mushroom, red shell, mushroom, green shell, banana.
And I don't even remember what the fourth.
Very memorable.
Like there was just nothing going on with it. Plus, they were so far apart that you had to mostly win by doing the slidey, shitty fucking.
At which point, what's the point of having it be a car racer?
And it was really not good. I don't know, man.
Add another one to the Sonic pile.
It didn't know whether it wanted to be a kart racer or like not a driving simulator, but a proper car driving game. And so it just did this kind of both thing. But then it also has stunts while you're jumping, and it just feels like a mistake.
Hey, I have a stupid question, because something that's almost never come up on the entire history of us working in this business is that I used to love racing games. But racing games have been shit for so long. Like, the last racing game that I loved was Burnout Paradise.
Yeah.
Is there a good racing game that exists now?
Probably a few. But I used to like racing games as long as I was playing them locally with somebody.
Yeah.
And that was
They're
fun.
not fun online. I've never had fun playing in a racing game online once.
I remember having a lot of fun testing you said not Blur, but it's a name like Blur. Dirt. One word. Dirt.
Dirt is responsible for my all-time favorite description you ever gave me about the optimal experience. Do you remember it?
What was it?
It was you tried to play Dirt and it didn't grab you. But it was at work and they gave you like a air conditioned separate room to play Dirt, and you were feeling good and you walked in with like a morning coffee, and no one was gonna bother you all day, and you sat in this perfect room to play Dirt by yourself in the ideal scenario, and it did literally nothing for you at all.
I still enjoyed the experience. No, we did no. So it wasn't exactly that. It was a 100-person player test. I wasn't alone. I was with a bunch of people. It was at the crack of dawn. It was early, and I had my coffee.
My memory of this story clearly sucks.
Yeah, and like the best guy in the office brought his steering wheel and fucking went in on it, and he just drove the perfect line the whole time. And I remember being like, "Man, this game's really cool." I'm not good at these.
Yeah.
But it tapped into, because here's my problem with racing games. I would say I like racing games, but the truth is I like Top Gear. And the more something reminds me of Top Gear, that's all I'm really looking for.
I used to say that I really loved Need for Speed.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to date myself as really old, but Need for Speed 3 and 4 are incredible racing games.
Yeah.
But those are PS1 games.
There's games that are basically like they represent the extreme version of a type, like, and I like those. So me saying I like a racing game in general, it's more like, nah, that's a little disingenuous. I like Top Gear and Top Gear type games.
Yeah.
I like Wipeout and F-Zero, GX, and what? I played a lot of Mario Kart, you know?
It reminds me of
Burnout 3.
Me and Liam did a fucking one-off to just fucking fill time on the old channel of Drive Club, and we're like, fuck it, little Drive Club, why not?
Yeah.
And it has like the least enjoyable driving model of any game I've ever played.
Yeah.
In which it's like it wants you to go really fast, and it's like realistic looking, but it doesn't control realistically. But they added, like, you have to drive in a way like, make sure to cut your corners like it's a realistic game, but it doesn't feel, and it's like it is splitting the difference of all of the different driving types in the worst possible way. That game, all the brouhaha about that game was always followed up with like, by the way, that game sucks also. It's bad to play.
I had to test Burnout Paradise for a little bit.
Oh, that's good.
And
good for you.
It was... Wait, was it? No, it wasn't Burnout Paradise. No. It wasn't Burnout Paradise. It was another game with a franchise that made its first open world driving debut.
Need for Speed?
What was it called, though? Need for Speed?
There's a bunch of them now.
Okay, there was the first open world. It might have been either the first open world Need for Speed or something. But like I remember just like playing it and going like, yikes, I don't like this. I just want tracks.
I played one of those. People were saying Need for Speed whatever was really good, and I played it. I was like, this doesn't fit. This is really stupid because I'm like a decade behind, but like this doesn't feel like a Need for Speed game.
The funny thing is, back in the day, I remember playing Most Wanted, I think 2 on PC, and being like, oh man, playing as a cop is super cool.
That game's the shit.
Right?
That's the last good Need for Speed game.
Yeah. Where I'm like, the whole chasing down dudes and whatever and pulling them over. That was like a fun new mechanic.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And
it's
then
hard.
And then at some point they just started naming them Most Wanted again. I think
there's a modern-ish one for the 360 and PS3 called Most Wanted. That one is good because it's a Burnout game.
Okay.
It is made by Ghost Games, Ghost something. It's
but
made
it's a
by
reboot.
like 60% Burnout people. It's literally just Burnout.
Okay. Yeah.
That one's good. And then Criterion died, and I think Ghost Games died, and now they put out Need for Speed.
Hot Pursuit.
That's it. Hot Pursuit.
Hot Pursuit. Yeah. Yep. I remember now.
Is there a good racing game that exists now?
Oh, surely. For sure. They'll find it.
Someone tell me, because I'm suddenly... I want to drive a car go fast.
Yeah. I mean, there was what did I like? I mean, it got Rest and Rip Drift Stage
Yeah, what's going on with that?
is canceled.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah,
When did that happen?
indefinitely on hold.
Why is that?
I'm not sure, but artist said that like programmer put it on hold.
Can I get my $500 back, please?
Yeah, I'm not the person who can answer that question.
Can you direct me to the person who can answer that question?
I think I can.
Thank you. I'd appreciate that.
I like that sweater. And
I have a shirt
that record right
somewhere.
there. That vinyl right there is a pretty cool vinyl. It's cool that came out. That's sad. All these Drift Stage clones now coming in and just like taking
And coming out.
coming along and filling the void.
So here's the thing. Even if there are some projects that fail not due to anyone's malice, but just because the shit falls apart, this fills my heart with like darkness when I think about crowdfunding. It fills my heart with, especially like,
I was really looking forward to that game.
Ghost
man.
Song's apparently still under active development.
Yeah, I heard there was an update like a couple
But
of
I'm
months
like,
ago.
I feel like my success rate for Kickstarter is 50-50.
I feel not just going back, like I would see a bunch of Drift Stage like games coming out and launching and whatnot, and I'd always just be like, oh man,
Waiting for
that's
Drift
cool.
Stage. Still
Still waiting for Drift Stage. Drift Stage is gonna crush it. These guys don't stand a chance. Every time, but it happened like 4 times. You know. Anyway, yeah. I played that. There was that one cool racing game that I played at PAX earlier. What was it called? Was it Grip? Was it Grip? No, I don't remember. It might have been Grip. It was cool. Yeah, it was cool.
You mean Grit?
No, it wasn't Grit.
Gert?
I think it was Grip. And you know, there's also what was there?
Grid. That's a racing game. You're probably thinking of Grid.
Probably Grid.
Yeah.
Could be. And then I want to say there was something else that caught my eye recently, but I don't remember what it was. Anyway, that's cool.
I don't like Trackmania, but I will give Trackmania a thumbs up for pushing VR to the fucking limit.
Distance was sick, even though that's less.
That's not a racing game.
It's not a racing game.
You race a car in it.
Yeah,
that's
it's not a racing game.
that's
Distance is super cool, but it's not a racing game. Definitely. Yeah. Oh, well. Maybe one day we'll get Captain Falcon again.
Can I buy Forza Horizon 2 on Steam yet?
There's the VR game, the PSVR one.
Whatever. Remember when everyone was like, man, VR's really taking off this time? And then all the companies making VR are like, oh, wait, no, not this time, actually.
It had its moment.
Yeah.
It was a bigger moment than it ever had before.
Yeah, and it will... I feel convinced that it's like until it's a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
That
but even then, people don't always want to deal with the stress on their eyes.
Well,
It'll be an occasional thing.
My issue with... I mean, I've said before, but with PSVR is I never got it... like, I played it at the office, and it was a blast, right?
Yeah.
And then I could never get it properly set up in my own house once. And even though you remember my old apartment, it had I had a big square to use for it. It would always drift to one direction. So I never even bothered setting it up in my current place.
Oh, yeah. Fast Racing Neo and Fast RMX. Man, you want to talk racing games, sit down and talk to Min about Initial D and more specifically Wangan Midnight someday.
Hey, you know what? I don't want to do that.
He has
I
things
really
to
don't.
say.
That seems like an awful time.
He has things to say. Does sound interesting, though, and I will say that I do like the very Versus-style arcade system of, like, the one-on-one racing games that, like, you'd get your card and then challenge people and shit. That stuff was pretty sick. I like the directness of that. Anyway, let's take a quick word from our sponsors.
Let's do that, please.
This week, Castle Super Beast is sponsored by DoorDash.
Hey, DoorDash, what's up? I'm actually starving right now.
Well, I too am hungry. I'm going to have to wait because I'm currently podcasting.
Yeah.
But you, listener, do not have to wait.
You don't have to wait.
Because DoorDash is perfect for getting you the food that you love from the restaurants you crave straight to your door. Long day at work, tough day at school, stuck at the office, whatever you're doing while you're listening to this.
Just sitting in your underwear at home.
Treat yourself to the meal you deserve. Sitting in your underwear, you deserve a good meal.
You deserve that.
Mouth pleasure.
Yeah.
Yes. And hey, if you love to cook but you're not in the mood to do dishes, that's fine. Just hit that on demand stream.
Just hit the button.
Watch what you want and have them deliver the food straight to you with DoorDash. Let's be real. Like I order food at like
too much.
Way too much. Way too much.
So hey, folks at home, you want to know the secret to ordering food too much? You hit this button, and then there's a reorder button.
And it's
it's so fast and convenient.
It is way too convenient, and I am not ready to shake my habits because the food tastes too good. So I'm a go with the DoorDash.
We often have a hard day at work with our video game playing, and we need a break.
Connects you to your favorite restaurants in the city. That's over 310,000 restaurants in their database.
Okay, that's not in my city. That's a lot. That's too much.
That's way too much. But the point is, you got options and door-to-door delivery in over 3,300 cities, all 50 states and Canada. And you've got your local go-tos as well in that list. You got your Chipotle, your Wendy's, your Chick-fil-A.
Oh God, we did an ad read for these guys like 2-3 weeks ago, and the same time you read that, I went, "Oh man!"
You forgot the last one
I
said. You forgot the last one I said that delivers. That was a problem. Do you remember who it was?
I remember Wendy's was a problem.
No, the real problem.
What was the real problem?
The Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory. You're right.
The problem.
Because, we don't have any Cheesecake Factories in our vicinity, so
no,
we're safe.
We don't.
But I'm like, the idea of like, oh man, I don't even have to drag my ass down to that fucking Wendy's.
They come to you. Right now, listeners can get $5 off their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter the promo code SuperBeast. That's $5 off your first order when you download the DoorDash app from the App Store and enter the promo code SuperBeast. That's promo code SuperBeast for $5 off your first order from DoorDash.
Thanks, DoorDash.
Thank you. This week, also, we'd like to thank our sponsors at Raycon.
Raycon?
We talked about them a little bit before.
That sounds like Recon.
But it's not Recon.
It's Raycon.
It's Raycon. It's 2019. Everyone needs a great pair of wireless earbuds.
I do.
But before you go dropping hundreds of dollars on a pair, you need to check out the wireless earbuds from Raycon. In fact, I've seen some people have posted photos of the fact that they picked up a couple.
Hey, look, I have a Raycon.
And I know that Steph's been enjoying the pair here because, like, they're really good and they do the trick. And they're starting at about half the price of other premium wireless earbuds on the market and sound just as amazing. So the company was actually co-founded by Ray J, and celebrities like Snoop Dogg got involved.
I have a sneaking suspicion that Snoop Dogg knows what it's like to listen to music.
Knows what the sounds should sound like. Yes. Trained ears.
Yes.
And the Raycon's E50 wireless earbuds have changed the game. They're comfortable. They're easy to go anywhere. They got the case. They charge. They connect. They pair. You put them on. And, like, again, as someone who uses and has used a lot of wireless earbuds, the quality is pretty solid. And what you're getting here is great quality at a much more reasonable price than
high-end wireless earbuds can be fucking ridiculous.
They can be. They can be.
They can be like absolutely ridiculous.
For not ridiculous prices, go to buyraycon.com/superbeast and get 15% off your order. That's buyraycon.com/superbeast for 15% off your already much more affordable Raycon wireless earbuds. If you've been eyeing a pair, now's the time to get an amazing deal. One more time, buyraycon, RAYCON.com/superbeast. And that's 15% off your order.
Thanks, Raycon.
Thank you, Raycon. Last, we have a new sponsor.
Really?
And
Who is our new friendly sponsor?
this week, a shout-outs to Stitch Fix.
Stitch Fix.
Stitch Fix. I like this kind of service.
Okay.
This sounds like my kind of service.
Is this what I think it is?
If you could describe your look in one word, what would it be?
Tired.
Yeah. That's fine. You know, casual, sophisticated, playful. I don't know. Guy with gamer shirt. That works too. But you
Got
know,
the job, got the girl, don't need to try as hard.
there is that possibility.
That's my look.
But you gotta sometimes, you know, I like to switch it up. Sometimes I feel Afro punk.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel blipster. Most of the time I feel like guy with gamer shirt. And
Yeah.
I like to have fun with the outfits. So Stitch Fix is basically coming along to help you with a personal stylist that can help make you look your best.
Okay. I thought this was something very different. I thought it's like, listen, rip your pants, too embarrassed to go to the seamstress, mail us your pants.
Wow. No, not quite.
Yeah.
Not quite.
That's a me problem.
That's a you
Not
problem.
enough people that need that service.
This is more along the lines of we need like a team of scientists to analyze
Hey, you look like a jackass. Let
your,
us fix
your
that.
gait and your girth and make you look better no matter what the style. The experts at Stitch Fix, they're ready to help you express yourself and look your best. Not quite one size fits all, but this specifically fits your style kind of look. So it's an online personal styling service that grabs your favorite clothing brands, mails them right to your door, and basically
Oh, that's okay. Yeah,
you get a
that's
selection.
actually really interesting.
Yeah, so they take a look, then they tailor it to your style, and then they mail you a bunch of options, and there's no commitment required. You pay for what you keep and mail back the rest.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. So to get started, go to stitchfix.com/superbeast, answer some questions about your preferred style, and your personal shopper will ship you a box of clothes, shoes, and accessories. And again, whatever you decide to keep, that's what you pay for. The rest, no cost, and you ship it right back. And the $20 styling fee is automatically applied towards anything you keep from your box. So you'll never have to think about looking good again. With Stitch Fix, they make you look good. They do it. Yeah, that sounds like my kind
That
of.
sounds like something that
I appreciate that kind
I
of service.
should use. But then I won't follow the own rules that I'll set for myself.
Well, the next time you need to make an appearance in public eyeballs,
A public appearance?
yes, and you want to look a little bit better than
Then not.
I would suggest you get started today at stitchfix.com/superbeast, and you get an extra 25% off when you keep
25%? Really?
when you keep everything in your box.
I miss out.
So that's stitchfix.com/superbeast. Once again, stitchfix.com/superbeast.
Thanks, Stitch Fix.
Thank you, Stitch Fix. All right, Noose.
All right. I don't know what you got in what list, but I know exactly what news that I want to talk about first, which is a phrase from you. I'll directly quote Wooly. What the fuck is wrong with KFC?
You must have caught wind at some point as to what.
Oh, totally. But before that was the fucking... Did you see the KFC Cheetos commercials?
No, I didn't watch
You
it.
have to look at it.
I don't
It's
wanna
filled
watch
with
it.
co-branded flavor.
I don't watch it. No.
It's got actual Cheetos dust in a fucking KFC sandwich.
Right now, we're going to go around the world to the far, far distant lands of China.
Hey, China, what's up?
Over in China, Chinese FF14 players are eating inhuman piles of KFC to earn fat chocobos.
Yes.
Byline, winner, winner, chicken dinner.
So, the fat black chocobo mount. So, okay, there's a fat chocobo mount.
Can you do me a favor?
What's that?
Can you see that ball with the string attached to it? Just grab the bottom one, and just lift it up. There you go. You almost got it.
Worked.
There you go. All right.
So the fat chocobo was like a pre-order bonus or collector's edition shit or whatever, and then the white fat chocobo you could get from some ancient Amazon promotion here, but it was a 7-Eleven promotion in Japan. And then the black fat chocobo was another Amazon promotion out pretty much everywhere, except Canada, which is why I had to buy something off Amazon.us to get them out. But in China, they have decided to have a way more fun approach to it.
Fun.
Yes.
So
Every
country gets to determine how to give people their black chocobo.
It appears to be the
Fat
case.
black chocobo.
That's correct. Have you seen it? It's really fat.
It's a chunk.
Yeah.
That's a chunk.
Do you know how it flies? You hold a cake in front of its face.
Oh, yeah.
And it flies.
Very, very big chunkus. Well, as it turns out, okay, I'll just read this directly as it's explained here. But the way this works is you have to buy a family deal for 4, then eat the whole thing.
The whole family deal for 4.
You have to. It's only available if you dine in, and apparently they do enforce the rule that you have to finish it.
That's the best part. That's absolutely the best part.
Before they hand you the code. Here's what's in the meal. 1 double chicken burger, 1 vegan mushroom burger, 1 5-piece chicken nuggets.
Already
2
probably full.
Original recipe chicken, 1 2-piece New Orleans chicken wings, 1 old Beijing spicy duck roll, 2 large Pepsis, and 2 peach oolong teas, large.
Okay, so I've been reading up on this. Wait, there's more?
I'm not done.
There's more.
That's a lot, right? But here's the thing. With that list, that's per person. So you actually get 4 times what I just read out.
That's so much more. That's really...
Each person gets 2 burgers, 1 double chicken and 1 vegan mushroom, and 4 drinks, 2 large Pepsis and 2 large peach oolong teas, and the chicken pieces, duck roll, and the nuggets. So that's 4 times that
double
amount.
Chicken burgers or whatever the fuck. Like, that's a lot.
The picture is stupid.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It is.
It's a stupid picture.
Yeah.
By the
Okay.
way, you know what that image is? That's the fucking Raid font.
Oh, really?
That's a goofy image somebody made that is essentially, that probably says KFC Chicken Extreme on it.
I mean, this is the single dumbest promotion.
Let's break down the dumbest part. Drink 8 Pepsis in a sitting. Alone.
And we're gonna sit and watch you do it to verify that you've done it before we even think about handing the code over. Yeah. So this then, of course, leads to some dedicated people.
Yeah.
That want their fat fucking chocobos.
Yeah.
And God bless, they've attempted it. Some people actually got it solo.
Yeah.
And everyone has been writing in MMO speak about how to approach it.
Yeah.
So
it's tough to tank those vegan burgers, man.
WHM was wiped first, followed by the tank. RDM resurrected WHM, but he denied. Now only BLM is still alive. We're about to be wiped. By the way, RDM says that I'm the toughest in my party, so now all the food is on my plate. I cheated and I said I would solo, but I wiped after eating a roll, a chicken, and 2 wings. I'm done. What about you? Our team was wiped, failed to pull the roll and burger apart during part 2. Empty pulled 2 burgers. Just leave the Coke alone, focus on the chicken. Man. Anyone at Kuming want to team up for a raid? Already found 3. Wiped at 5% solo. You must distribute the damage from the Pepsi. Don't let it stack.
You can't just drink 8 Pepsis in one go. You gotta Break it down.
And then the last was a 3-part message from somebody who said, I went to the toilet. They took away my meal and gave me a new one.
There's something about...
They will not let you go.
There's something about a promotion being so lucrative to bring people in that you'll throw like $40 of food in the trash and make a new batch just to fuck with people.
Like, literally. Oh, you thought the bathroom would help you? You thought you could sneak away? They emptied his fucking table and brought him a new set, dude. They're throwing chicken at you.
That's what's known as resetting the aggro table.
Is that when you leave the instance and...
No, it's occasionally when a boss like moves away into a phase change, they'll come back and they'll come back with a clean aggro table, so you have to reestablish hate.
Oh my god. Yeah. I don't know what China is thinking. Like, I don't get it. How this is legal. Because, like, we've had...
I just called you Paige. Well, everything is legal in China, and nothing is legal in China. Don't worry about it.
But, like, the absolute hatred and disdain for everyone that wants this Chocobo.
Chicken, you fucking freaks.
They fucking hate you. They hate your existence. And they sit and watch you hate yourself to get the fat Chocobo. And, of course, it's a fat Chocobo, you know? Like, it's I've never heard of anything like it. I mean, ever since like fucking Turok Tattoo and Shadow Man babies, like bloodvertising, this is absolutely right up there. Because this is lethal amounts of food.
It's
you got to get fucking Kobayashi to come help you out on this shit. Like,
it's like stupid heart attack grill shit, but they're throwing it at Chinese people. It's not like Americans where there's like a culture of like feed yourself until you're dead, right?
Like, take your chicken burger, dip it in water so that it goes down easier. Work on the next one.
I would think that the water would build up over a time and fill up stomach space.
Probably, but in terms of swallowing, you don't want to swallow it. You just want to get it right down the gullet smooth, and that makes it not get trapped inside. Because the moment you have to stop and feel it going down, that's a problem. You need it to just grease all the way through.
This description is not good to hear.
How much do you want that fat Chocobo?
I bought a time card off Amazon.us. That's how much I wanted.
If you're in a different region, like, it'll still work.
The American code worked for my Canadian account, but the Chinese version of that game is completely separate from everybody else's. So, sorry guys.
So, in other words, if you see somebody on a Chinese server with a fat black Chocobo,
you know they're cool.
/ they might be dying.
You know they're cool.
They might be dying.
They might have taken the code off their dead friend's body.
They might need help.
Yeah.
Report it immediately.
Yeah.
If you see anyone with one. Yeah. That's our fucking gem. That's our gem.
That's good.
All right.
Co-branded flavor, Wooly.
Well, anyway. Speaking of starting from scratch when you go to the bathroom.
Oh, boy. Why'd you go to the bathroom? Is it because you keep shitting yourself in public in front of everyone?
Famitsu recently did a interview with Game Freak to talk about what happened.
What happened?
So the update this week to the Pokemon Sword and Shield story.
I didn't think we'd be doing a Reset the Clock series on fucking Pokemon.
But here we are.
It's so stupid.
It's a very simple update this time around. And I actually am seeing online that there is a, like, it's becoming the discussion of like, don't tell developers that, like, don't call developers lazy because making a game is fucking hard.
I don't call any developers lazy. I prefer to call them incompetent.
That's not even where I'm going. I'm just saying the main thing is, to me, the main thing is just take more time. It's understandable that it was not ideal, but take the time you
They're
need
not allowed to take more time.
to make it better.
They are 100% allowed not to take more time.
Well,
I couldn't have said that in a worse way. Can I try that again? They're absolutely not allowed to take more time.
By who? Them?
No, they're corporate masters.
Then they should give them more time.
They're
Like,
not
whatever the
going
product
to.
needs, whoever you want to point it at, whether it's developer or corporate master, people in charge of making the game happen.
Who cares if it's good? It'll sell.
So
It's
anyway,
Pokemon.
here's what we got. We got someone who translated a Famitsu interview and basically posted it on Reddit. And the update to the story is that it's a little bit more complicated than it seemed, because the assumption that we were taking we're taking assets from 3DS and porting them over and just using them as
Which is why they made those 3DS assets the way they did.
Is not exactly what happened. When they switched over from 3DS to Nintendo Switch, the frame rates and quality were both different. In this article, they reveal that they went to transfer the models and move animations into SS, Sword and Shield, but they didn't transfer over right, forcing them to rebuild from scratch. Keep in mind that Game Freak only has 143 employees, only half of which are working on Pokemon, the other half on Town. So basically, while the same animations of the Pokemon themselves are copied and pasted, most, if not all, the Pokemon models had to be redone. On top of that issue, Dynamaxing forces Game Freak to produce extra models for each and every Pokemon because
it doesn't.
Because you cannot just take the same model and increase its size by 10 and expect it to look half decent.
So this is where a lot of so I'm feeling some of the animosity that I'm sure longtime Pokemon fans are feeling, because we get to do two things here. We get to choose.
All right, so hold on a second. That's being called a mistranslation.
Yeah.
So there's an update.
So update to the update.
The update on the post. The person who translated this, or people are saying it was mistranslated. What are they saying here? Didn't think this would reach so many people. The best way to explain all the questions is with a full explanation. Everything stated in the article is from my own words, so let's focus on the intro paragraph of my own. The whole reason I researched the topic in the first place was listening to an episode of ComicBook.com's Pokemon Unpub podcast. But most of the information from my paragraph was lifted from that, including the mention of frame rates and quality, the line about starting from scratch, and about Dynamax models. Also, Game Freak has gone on record saying that they have two development teams. Team A is Town, Team B is Pokemon. Obviously, no one really knows that if this is true until we have the game in our hands and search the game files. So that's the update that the person gave to that first thing that I read out.
We get to have two feelings here. Either did they really fuck up the transfer process, the whole reason they made those things? The whole reason that you got shitty frame rates on the 3DS is so they could have high-quality models that would work for the future. Didn't work, so that was all for nothing. And now you're remaking the models to look like a 3DS game with all the the stupid animations and if you're gonna remake every fucking Pokemon and keep it to a list of 250 whatever the fuck, why are you remaking it in the style of the limited looking bad ones that you made so that it could like that part just blow
So I'm looking at a different article here over on NintendoEverything.com, and again, if you guys are saying that there's a more accurate translation of this article, then send it my way. I'm only following what I read here, but this has a bullet point list of some of the points from the article, it seems to pretty much summarize the same thing. With the shift to Switch, the amount of time needed to make the graphics more beautiful and animations was increased. The series reached over 1,000 Pokemon. Because of this, apart from the graphics, balancing new Pokemon with abilities became very hard. The reason behind the decision was time. They judged it will be hard for all the Pokemon to appear, even in titles going forward. This was a decision that had to be made sooner or later. Sun and Moon bringing in every Pokemon was something barely manageable. Sword and Shield needed to redo the models. They had to make a decision. The wild areas in the story have quite a bit of content to make up for it. Whether or not they'll be adding new Pokemon in future releases is currently uncertain. And then there's a couple of other points that go down this list.
So the part that I get stuck on is that either this development team is profoundly incompetent or some of those things are lies. You did not need to remake every single asset. There are other Pokemon games on there's another Pokemon game on the Switch that people have been able to determine has the models ported over. They're the same models. Also, I don't know if you remember, but when Pokemon Sun and Moon came out, people threw that shit into Citra and kicked it the fucking resolution up. Those models look great. There's no need to, like, it's so stupid. This is so fucking stupid. Also, no one asked for Dynamax. So saying like, well, you know, we have to redo it for Dynamax. We got to make a new model for every single Dynamax Pokemon because, like, you know, you can't just then take that out. Do you really think anyone in the world is saying, oh yeah, I would much rather have Dynamax than 400 extra Pokemon?
I'm gonna stand by what I was saying in that I think the solution to almost any possible issue here is just time.
Also,
like literally, like whatever the problem is or could be, that's okay. Just take the time to do it right.
Also, the thing, I don't know what the deal with their team size is. Like, Pokemon should have like I'm not advocating for like factory farm game making, but like Pokemon's a way fucking bigger deal than Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed gets 1,200 developers from 95 different countries.
Yeah, and nobody wants crunch,
right? But how come Pokemon has to have 80 people?
And
that's
so,
like a development team of like 10 years ago.
So this brings me to the image that I got sent that I thought was pretty funny. And, you know, someone out there who's much more informed can probably correct if there's any mistakes on this thing. But I'm going to pull it up anyway, because if this is true, this is kind of insane. And it's Pokemon versus Digimon. Right?
Oh, yeah. No, I've seen
Have
these.
you seen this?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one in particular is wild because it just goes on a point-by-point basis, and it shows you examples of characters in game models. So they're comparing, it's an image macro here, and it's not macro, it's an image, and it's comparing Pokemon Sword and Shield with the second most recent Digimon game, Cyber Sleuth, in order to give Pokemon a handicap.
I played that game for a bit. It's impressive.
This is to give Pokemon a handicap since this is their first console title, right? I guess not counting the fucking stadiums and so on and coliseums. But Cyber Sleuth was originally on Vita and then ported to PS4.
Yep.
So they have side-by-side examples.
It looks great.
Yeah, in-game characters, monsters, environments, battle UI looks overall way better in Digimon.
Way better. It's a full generation ahead.
Right. Pokemon has 800 individual models, all of which are already completed and animated since Gen 6. Game Freak was unable to port these over as they did in the previous game, and they cut Pokemon from the game completely, and they intend to continue this for all future games, whereas Cyber Sleuth has 249 individual Pokemon, Digimon, all the models and animations were made from scratch. The sequel increased it to 341. The director wants to add more and include and much more obscure ones. Then, in terms of notable differences on the other side of the screen here, you got Pokemon don't follow you in the overworld, whereas in Digimon, all three of your Pokemon in your party follow you. You've got Gen 8 badges, beat the evil team, catch the legendary, beat the champion, whereas in Cyber Sleuth, there's a story that involves many mature themes that doesn't hold your hand. I'm going to take that image's word for it. I don't fucking know. All attack animations are universal. Z moves have been removed, versus Digimon have their own fully animated signature moves, and each one has at least one. And then your rival starts the game with a starter weaker than yours, and your rival starts the game with a giant fucking mech thing. So in conclusion, it says at the bottom.
I actually think the better comparison is one that you made, I think, 2 weeks ago, was to Monster Hunter.
Sure.
Monster Hunter got up to... So an individual monster in Monster Hunter is a million times more work than an individual Pokemon, right? They have huge animation sets, they have skeletons, etc., right? But we hit World, and we went from 110 plus down to 35, right? But you could see why. Rathalos looks fucking sick, and he has... all of his shitty animations got cleaned up. You got a batch of new particle effects. It looks good, you know, all that stuff, right?
Yep.
Iceborne's going to come out. It looks like they're going to kick it up to 50-55. right? Monster Hunter World 2, or whatever the fuck it's called, is probably going to kick it up to 77. And then Monster Hunter World 2 Frontier GX is probably going to kick it up to 95. Because Capcom is throwing the resources that it demands behind it. And they're hauling ass to get these things out. They never, ever, in that whole series, ever said something so stupid as, you're probably never going to get that high of a roster again. With GU, Generations Ultimate, they said, this is going to be the largest roster for a while because we're literally just they were just drag dropping shit over from other games, right?
Yeah.
But the first thing they said when World came out is, we know the monster list is small. We are busting our asses to get as many of your favorite monsters in as fast as possible. They didn't go out and say, well, it's hard, so you'll probably never see a big roster again.
So the in conclusion on this image says, in conclusion, Game Freak can't manage to port over assets they've been using for 6 years, despite having enough funding to buy New York, while the franchise that makes nearly 200 times less money managed to outperform them in every aspect on a Vita.
It's laughable. It's a joke. Like, the development team, and when I say development, I'm going to point at the technical team at Game Freak, have got to sit on their asses for decades making DS games and not learn how to develop big budget games. And now that they're being asked to make one, they are making a handheld game, and if this was a handheld game, they would still be fucking it up.
That's the thing.
Like,
They would be. They would
not
be.
even
Yeah.
a console release.
Yeah, that is the truth. Again, I'm not even gonna come at them that hard about the development like hurdles.
Yeah.
Because the model animation shit, like when I look at it and I see the
the dog wag back and
wagging,
forth,
I'm
you're like, how'd you put that in?
Yeah, that looks really dumb.
That's embarrassing.
That looks really bad.
I would feel bad to put that out.
But even at that level, I'm like, I would much rather stay safe and just go like, nope. Look, all I'm gonna say is, whatever the fuck got you to this point, this is the point where you go, it's not done. Put it back in, and you make that call, whether it's the StarCraft Ghost call, or the Metroid Dread call, right? The Tetris Trackers call, whatever the fuck you want it to be. You make that call where you just go, you know what? No. You can't. This is the first proper, like, well, it's not. It's still a half handheld, half console. But
whatever.
The first big new.
I can sum that weird dilemma up in like one sentence.
Just give it more time.
What are you actually getting from this, other than some extra lines of resolution? I believe it is the new type of map, right? Like the way the camera works outside of fights, pretty much, right? I believe that's
also
it.
New waifus.
Whatever. They would have had new waifus if it was a fucking Game Boy game.
You seen those abs?
Yeah, I seen them. But like, I believe that is the only significant technical feature being added, and as a result, 70% of a roster game's roster is being junked, so that you can move. Like, I can't. Oh, it's so stupid. It's so stupid.
So now, best case scenario, they're not gonna, like, it's happening. Right?
Really, how many characters did Marvel Infinite launch with?
Yeah, I know.
No, but seriously, how many did they launch with? Like 40? 45?
No,
50?
no, way less than that. It was 2 rows on each side, and each row had maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, maybe 28.
People are saying 30.
28. I was
28, 30?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dumb. It didn't even launch with as many characters as like the earlier first batch, and it was fucking stupid. This is twice as stupid as that.
Yeah. So this is too late to pull back. Well, it's never to me. It's never too late to pull it back and fix it. But I'm not.
But you're not the person.
I'm not the.
You're not a producer.
I'm not. Right. But now what you have is at best, a No Man's Sky scenario where it launches and the people that like it get it and play it and it's fine. But everyone who's upset by it sits by idly and waits. And then hopefully big updates come to fix it later on that address what people want to see. but the amount of work going into that, it's almost like you already launched.
This all comes back, like all the anger comes back to
that's gonna fucking hurt you.
One sentence, which I feel like sums it all up, which they need to roll back. They need to come back, and they have doubled down on it, and they go, "You're probably never gonna see another Pokemon game with all the Pokemon again." That's the part. If they said, "Listen, we're running behind. We're putting in these 350. We're gonna add like 100 in 6 months, and then the next batch will have 200, whatever, right?" We'd still be mocking them like ruthlessly because the animations are fucking dumb, but people will go, "Well, they fucked up, they're gonna put them in whatever," right? But the phrase of like, "Well, no, we'll never be able to work hard enough or smart enough to get them all in there."
So my friends that have been super into Pokemon in the past, whenever there's been stuff that they're bothered by, it always seemed really granular.
Yeah,
and it was always
they
like
changed this mini game with the bike, or
and it
whatever.
and I've always definitely been like, okay, dude,
whatever, Poke nerds.
If you're in there, you're in there, I suppose,
Yeah.
right? This is the first time that it's actually like a very broad and clear botch. And it's weird because I'm so used to Pokemon being like, it's fucking Pokemon, it's fine.
Pokemon.
Like,
do you know why you felt that way? Because deep in the seat of your mind, you're like, it's fucking Pokemon. All your favorites are here. I remember Pokemon. I like Chansey or whatever the fuck.
Anyway,
and they got them all in. Oh, there's some new ones that'll be worth it, right?
Yeah. There's nothing time can't fix, man. Nothing time can't fix.
Death. Huh? What?
Well, hey, maybe by the time things are good, this will be a game that you can play on your new
3DS big.
Why the fuck isn't it working?
What are you trying to do here? You're trying to load an article?
The article just doesn't work.
It's called the Switch Lite.
They pulled it.
Oh.
They pulled the article.
Why'd they do that?
I don't know.
That product still exists.
Yeah. Okay, well, the Switch Lite got announced.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to find...
I wanna say that everybody knew this was gonna happen ever. This is the most obvious thing ever. It's a smaller one.
Mm-hmm.
It's about half as small, so it's easier to put in your pocket. Or your jacket pocket, really. Cool.
There we go. The Switch Lite is a smaller Switch with no Joy-Cons.
Yeah. It has a real D-pad.
Real D-pad.
Which is kind of infuriating, actually.
Well, what are you going to do?
Put out Joy-Cons with real D-pads.
But without Joy-Cons, there's no reason for the button D-pad because you're never going to play with a second person in that needs the same control layout as you.
Actually, you will. So if you want to play those games, you have to bring out multiple extra bonus Joy-Cons to sync up to the Switch Lite.
Sure.
Which is fucking stupid.
But that's why they can can put the D-pad here, is because they don't have to make those Joy-Cons.
Yeah, put out a fucking Joy-Con with a D-pad, guys.
Yeah, well, don't like the fact that it's an unofficial one. It's like it's there, but you can't use it as a Joy-Con. Now that fix it. But yeah, it is a smaller version that has that and no dock.
No dock.
For $199 US.
I was talking to Paige about this, and she pointed out something that I didn't quite realize. That the title of the console is now a lie.
Yeah, it is.
Because you can't switch.
Yes.
It's not a Switch Lite. It's a big 3DS.
It is a not Switch.
It's not a Switch.
No switching. That whole click thing?
That
entire click mechanic is
They use that sound effect constantly in that promo. That's not the Joy-Cons don't do it. The fucking thing doesn't.
Yeah. So, yes.
It's a 4DS. Thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody said that in chat. Nintendo 4DS.
Nintendo Vita. Yeah. There's no...
yes, that's actually totally what it is.
No HDMI. The unswitchable.
This seems like a bad one to get.
I don't know. I bought a 2DS for Steph, and it was handy.
But the 2DS is better than 3DS.
I mean, it was handy and it was cheaper, In this case...
It's $50 cheaper, but you lose like a bunch. Like a ton of stuff.
But if you didn't need those or want those things, it's not a big deal. Like, I don't see this as that bad. I see this as fine. Like,
I see it as a bad value.
if you still want the original value with the dock, then you just get the normal Switch. Like, this is quite simply, do you have a kid that wants a portable system, just a portable system, and doesn't need or want any of that other shit?
Yeah, you give him your old phone.
Well, you give him a Switch
No,
Lite.
you give him your
Fuck
old
you.
phone.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You don't do that. You don't lose them. You don't lose them. We got to keep those. We need them. We need those kids.
Yeah, you need those kids to play console games.
Yeah. So
So you trick them with a real Switch.
and I'm sure this still, you still can exactly like we'll get a Pro controller and fucking use it if you need to or whatever.
This will not support that. I'm sure.
Wireless connection, wireless controller connections, peripherals.
This is stupid. Then just get the regular Switch.
Again,
Can this thing even stand up on its own?
it probably has the little back stand. I wouldn't be
Like-
surprised. But dude, it's not for you then. But its existence
No,
makes sense.
Here's the thing. If this was the portable
No
Wii,
dock. All right, so it doesn't stand. That doesn't
if
have
this
the
was
back
the
thing.
portable Wii U, I'd agree with you. But the Switch is already for everyone. This is for people that
want to spend less money, that don't want to hook it up to an HDMI.
or have detachable Joy-Cons.
Yeah. And if you're someone that doesn't care about those features and is willing to spend less on it,
Okay, so
then you get a D-pad out of the
So
deal.
I would like to point out to you, Wooly, that if those people who
It's
buy
a handheld.
if you want to buy the Switch Lite and play one of the games that needs detachable
Well,
Joy,
that's not-
wait,
that's not
you let
the-
me finish. If you want to buy the Switch Lite and buy a goddamn game that has detachable Joy-Con support and actually use that, because Joy-Cons cost like $100 and you don't get them in the thing, it actually costs $50 more than the Switch.
if you happen to be one of those people, yes.
Yeah. If you want to actually be able to play every game on the
If
library.
you find yourself in that circumstance. That's true.
It's a fucking rip.
Not if you don't care about those games.
No, I mean, it's literally a rip. Like, you're getting less for more. Okay, Wooly, think about it this way. Take the Joy-Cons off a Switch, right? Now the Switch costs $170, right? There are no Joy-Cons on the Switch Lite, but it costs $200. That means it's a ripoff.
But what's the part where you're ignoring the detail that you don't that not everyone has to play cares about playing those games. The games that support it, it doesn't work for you. It might work for people that don't care about those games.
They're putting out a cheap, like, this is cheaper to make than the Switch for sure. Right? Mm-hmm. They're probably making more money off of it than they are off the Switch.
We don't know. Probably.
Yes. That's a ripoff.
I don't see how it's a ripoff.
Because it's a worse product for comparatively more money.
Okay, you're doing...
It is worse than the difference in price. If this was $100,
So you're saying it should be cheaper?
Yeah, it should be at $150 or $100.
Okay, whatever. Price point, sure. Okay, I'm not going to argue that. Like, if you whatever the price point should be or could be to make it easier for people to buy it in places where they can't afford a normal Switch, sure.
Wooly, there is no scenario ever in which someone can't afford a normal Switch but can afford this and ever a game.
Or would want to get, like, I definitely could picture, like, someone wanting to buy this for a kid as opposed to a normal Switch. But
The regular Switch is $300, not $250. I thought it was $250.
well, so this is the type of thing that, like, with the person in mind, if the person in mind is going to play a limited selection of games / a specific certain selection of games that are not the ones where they'd be affected by owning this, and they're never going to be plugging it into the HDMI because it's a child,
Yeah.
this is more than fine. This is totally a plausible situation that a plausible option for them, and they get a D-pad out of it. Makes perfect sense to me.
I want to point out that when people say I bought 4 of them, one was a present for a nephew so that he would have a good call. I would never have bought this for
That's
the nephew.
cool.
And 2 where I just bought them for, I physically bought them for people, but they paid me back.
Let's see. So the Switch Lite will not have a kickstand. It has a normal D-pad, no TV out. But it's still a touchpad, right? And it's
Yeah, it would have to be.
it would still have to
A
be.
bunch of shit wouldn't
Yeah,
work if
yeah.
it did.
Yeah. Better battery life.
I wish they would have put it next to
3 to
a
7.
regular Switch in the video they put out.
So better battery life. 3 to 7 instead of the 2.5 to 6.5. I would, and I'm not sure if I'd have to see it in my palm to see like exactly how much bigger or smaller.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I wish they had literally had them a person hold up them next to each other, because
it would be. But if this was if the difference in size made this just enough to be pocketable, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You know.
The other problem is a lot of games run really badly in undocked mode. A bunch run well, but a bunch are and that's going to be this thing's default state.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I could definitely consider, depending on how good that D-pad is. I could see situations where I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I want to put my cartridge in this and play it on that.
Cartridge.
If I were to buy a physical, or I'm sorry, my memory the memory stick that has your games on it, because you can put it on the memory on the actual thing, or you can put it on the memory stick. You put your games on a memory stick.
Okay.
Your digital games that you purchase from the eShop.
Sure.
Yes. So you can then bring them from one to the other.
I think I put one of those in there once.
Okay.
And to make that problem go away.
Okay. Well, I have an SD card in my console, and
that's what they're called.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I put one of those in there.
Yeah. So
to make the problem go away.
Yeah, and so this would be a really easy way to just bring the games that you want onto.
I bet if you transfer that SD card, none of that shit will work.
If you log into your Nintendo account and prove that you're the same person, I hope it would.
But Nintendo.
Yeah, but now there's an account.
Remember we use save games.
Yeah, I do. This is now there's an account system. There's no reason for that to be a problem.
Yeah,
we'll find out, won't we? Though.
I have a reason. Nintendo.
Yeah.
Remember, hook your phone up to your microphone up to your bullshit.
I imagine at worst you'll bring the games over. And then when you're logged into your account, you'll have to re-download your uploaded saves from the cloud manually if you can't bring them over on the SD card.
It's just not going to work at all. I'm telling you right now. You know what? No, someone can answer this.
With 2 switches.
With 2 switches.
Yeah.
Right now. So if I pull my SD card out and put it into a brand new Switch and log into that, does that work or does it not work?
It might just have the games without the saves, but the saves are cloud backed up. And when you log into your account, you can download your saves. So, in theory, I imagine it would work that way. If it doesn't, that sucks. But yeah. Yes, it works.
It works.
Yeah.
Your cloud lets saying no, it does not work.
Your cloud lets you access your saves. I don't see why switching consoles wouldn't let you access your cloud. Anyway,
people are
that's
saying
cool.
It doesn't work. Okay, I can't.
Well, you can't yes, no. Fuck that guy. He's an asshole. Shut up. Totally works. I did it right now. Yeah, anyway, so that's that. Switch Lite, cheaper. And
shittier.
But not so shitty that, it might not be worth it for you depending on whether you want that. I don't know. I don't think it's that big a deal.
This kind of bums me out because the 2DS and the 2DS XL were improvements on the 3DS.
So I hated the DS Lite. I hated it.
What?
Because no, sorry.
Are you insane?
Sorry. Not the DS Lite. What was the
greatest handheld to ever exist?
Sorry, SP.
GBA SP.
GBA SP. I hated the GBA SP.
That's because of the lack of the headphone jack?
No.
That shit was outrageous.
No, that was stupid, but that was not my problem with it.
Yeah.
My problem was that I couldn't hold it.
Yeah, because you have big hands and it's super tiny.
Yes, it was awful. That sucked. The DSi came along and that was great because it smoothed out that whole thing.
DSi is a completely different addendum
DS
to
Lite,
that later.
then
DSi
DSi
had the camera with all that weird shit.
But DSi was also not. It was in the style of a DS Lite.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
DSi was an alternate DS Lite that had camera stuff.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there.
You're looking at that?
Well, my weird hybrid black and white one, that's a DS Lite.
Yeah.
And then
that's a DS Lite XL at the bottom. There's no DSi there.
Above my green Game Boy.
Above your green Game Boy? That is a DS Lite.
That is a DS Lite, yes.
Yeah, it's not a DSi.
No, it's not. But the
That's
DSi,
what I'm saying.
But the DSi kept that new style.
Totally, yeah. It also
aesthetic.
there was also a version that had like a matte finish.
The Apple years.
Yeah.
Right? The Nintendo Apple years. And those were clean and nice. And I
Yeah,
really,
I
really
liked
like
them.
those. Those are good. Those are good.
I was kind of disappointed with the original batch of 3DSs because they were not nearly as clean and nice as the DS Lites.
They didn't keep the Apple years. I agree. But I yeah, as but I fucking forgot my point.
Switch Lite sucks. That was your point.
That
was your point.
Because the size and the holding and
Yeah.
the anyway.
Well, there's an obvious solution to this: is just never play your Switch outside of the dock mode.
Well, you see, but I take it on the plane when I go places.
Yeah, so do I, and I've never taken it out of its box ever, which pisses me off every time.
Out of its box.
I've taken it. Well, I have a case for it.
Yeah.
I've taken it on every trip I have made since its existence. I have never once turned it on.
The product is allowed to not be for you. That is okay. That is okay.
Mm-hmm. That's accurate.
What else is
That
going
does
on?
not mean that I don't get to criticize it.
Oh, you can. But it falls within my realm of comfort.
Okay, that's fine.
You know what? You know what doesn't fall within my realm of comfort?
Okay, now I'm excited.
I am getting really, really peeved. I'm getting miffed
Uh-huh.
at the continuing nonsense that is Shenmue 3. And the reason why I'm getting peeved and pissed and
I'm
miffed,
fully done now, by the way. I
The
backed
reas-
it.
the reason why I'm getting unchuffed is because
Oh, there's a feeling in my chest right now that I can't quite identify that's new, and I don't like it. It's not anger. It's like tired disappointment.
I don't even care about the part where like Shenmue 3 is fucking up and all these bad things are happening. The fact that Yu Suzuki's name and all of this is ruining the good shit that like was otherwise a flawless track record. All the YS games,
Yu Suzuki is pretty great.
right? In
Yeah.
my brain, if there was a mistake, this is how good it was.
The man invented Virtua Fighter.
This is how good it was, right? In my brain, like his name and the AM2 shit, like that. In my brain, it's a flawless track
Sega
record.
AM2 makes my dick hard.
Even though there's probably some clunkers in there.
Yeah, probably.
I've steamrolled
Sega
past them.
AM2, and you're like, oh,
That-
I'm gonna have fun.
That palm tree means good shit.
Yeah.
That signature means good shit, right? This is dragging that shit.
So
through
what
the
are you
mud.
talking about exactly?
It sucks.
What possible thing about Shenmue 3 could upset you?
And fucking and just
No, I'm serious. You have to say what it is. We haven't talked about what it is.
I know, but the thought the
okay.
last setup line I was gonna say is on this clock reset is that Epic with their newfound form of post-production, I'll call it,
Yeah.
because it's producing the game after it's already
Produced?
been made and
Yeah.
produced. Is you get to skate because you're like, here's some money, bye. Right, and then you sort out your problems. Whatever people expected of you, whatever you set up, whatever you
Fuck it,
promised.
whatever.
Bye. Here's money. Bye. Right. I don't know. Shenmue 3 backers will not receive retail exclusive content. YSNet can't seem to catch a break with Shenmue 3 after a massive backlash about refusing refunds for players dissatisfied with the sudden Epic Games Store exclusivity. Kickstarter backers will now not be receiving any retail exclusive content with their keys. As discovered by VG247, a backer basically pointed out that backers will need to pay for any additional content because here's what it says: standard and deluxe editions released through the retail sale will not be affiliated with the crowdfunding campaign.
Because that's a thing that exists, apparently. That seems new.
And thus will not be included with backer pledges. They will be available for sale separately.
So, for some
This
reason...
creates a scenario where backers are now not getting a complete version of the game they helped bring to life. Also doubly confusing, as both the Kickstarter and Slacker backer editions have exclusive content of their own. Throw in a season pass that has undefined content and is also not being given to backers, and this has become a really crappy situation, according to the Destructoid article.
The reason why you make retailer exclusive DLC is because the retailers, hey, you want us to stock your game a bunch, whatever, so you make retailer exclusive DLC. That's a thing that's been for a while. The deal is that as a Kickstarter, your primary consumer base and priority should be the people who paid you money to make the game exist. But
Oh, you mean Epic?
no, I mean
You mean Epic?
No, I mean the publisher that picked Shenmue.
No, you mean Epic.
No, I mean no, I'm saying what is the publisher behind Shenmue 3?
Yeah.
It's Yeast Games or some shit.
EastNet.
EastNet. They're the people who actually paid for most of Shenmue 3. They went out and made a bunch of deals with retailers because the Kickstarter has nothing to do with you or even kickstarting at all. It was a fucking focus test.
Deep Silver.
Deep Silver now? Okay, fucking whatever. Right? And Deep Silver doesn't give a shit. And Epic just give the money to make it all go away. Hey, Wooly, I have a nice circle we can paint here. Okay?
don't understand. It's such an obvious fuck up to not make.
Pokemon, right? Famous. Big famous, right? Everybody love it. Digimon actually put in the work, right? Shenmue, right? How was Judgment? You played that this week.
Pretty good.
Was that a good time?
I would say work was put in.
Would you say that thing is exploding with care and attention to detail?
Felt pretty good.
Yeah. Did you feel ripped the fuck off?
Not when I went through Virtua Fighter.
No. You mean the game that should be in Shenmue? Because it's made by the same man?
Shenmue is also, it's literally like, it's the worst because, not the worst, but it's like, it's
getting pretty bad now.
it's in an extra bad situation because like even with what, like we don't even know what the game is or how it's going to be, and Shenmue 3 existing in a world that has Yakuza and Judgment out in it is already tough. That's already a battle that is tricky because once upon a time, like, well, God, there's like 9 Yakuza games?
9?
Or is it 10?
10?
Come on.
1 through
0 through 6.
Right.
Kiwami 1 and 2.
Uh-huh. Black Panther 1, 2, and 3. Ishin and Kenzan.
Okay, wow. Yeah, no, I got nothing. No, I got no idea.
Wooly, Yakuza is an annual franchise.
Okay.
And they hit that annual. Okay?
Dead Souls.
Dead Souls as well. I forgot Dead Souls. So it's closer to 15 now.
Jesus Christ.
Right? If you include Judgment.
Like, it was already a, like, really rough situation. But, hey, we want to know what happened with Rio Landi and that girl. So let's find out.
You know those things where they go, like, in the period between this game and this game coming, like, this one sequel coming out, this entire, like, in between DMC 4 and 5, I think the entire Assassin's Creed series has existed. That kind of shit. Right?
Yeah.
In the span of Shenmue 2 to 3,
Yeah.
we will have had Kiryu's entire storyline, Miyamoto Musashi's Kiryu storyline, the Black Panther storyline, an online spin-off, and the new spin-off. Like, Yakuza series for all intents and purposes is over until Yakuza Shin comes out. Or Shin Yakuza, whatever. But, like, that whole thing. And I know it drove Matt crazy for me to say, like, you don't need another Shenmue game because Yakuza straight up replaced it. But the more that I dug into it and saw, hey, guess what? A lot of people who worked on Shenmue worked on Yakuza 1 and Yakuza 2. And it's a Sega game. It's made by those people. The big deal was Nagoshi wanted to do a fucking Shenmue game that had to deal with crime. And it had a really small... He wanted to make the fucking one city block RPG. And he did. He totally did. 15 times in a row.
To change speeds entirely, I would say on a purely Kickstarter discussion level, the worst thing you can do to someone who's a Kickstarter backer on your project is not make the thing that you took their money for. Right?
That's the worst. The son told me not to make.
Yes, that is the number. That's the number one.
That's the one we go to every time. It's the funniest thing ever.
You can't beat that, right?
Yeah.
But number two is probably just having no respect for the backer in terms of like everything around the project, right? So, you know, Mighty Number Nining the 3DS version, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well, that didn't come out.
That's a not. Yeah, you're right.
So,
That's a non-release. Yeah. Okay. But like the second worst thing you do then is things like this, where you go, well, thank you for helping us out with the pledge, but turns out that pledge was not a pledge. It was just a vote. It was a popularity vote, and we didn't actually need that money. We just needed to prove that people were interested, and so we're going to treat that popularity vote
as a pre-order or whatever,
but not really, because you're a pre-order in a different place for a different version, while we incentivize every other thing.
Well, because we need to incentivize them. See, you didn't need any incentive because you bought it because you're an idiot. These people, they need an incentive. So we need to give them a better deal.
Well, it's more along the lines of, after that Kickstarter campaign happened and then everything was successful and it went through, the game then began like development became normal game development.
Yeah.
And now it is going through normal game development
with the backer campaign being a footnote.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're getting the special editions, you're getting DLC, you're getting a season pass, you're getting all the things that are normally associated with a regular game, except you have these people that you're indebted to, that you asked money for,
that you were actually indebted to,
and that, like, whether or not you told them how much of their money was actually necessary in the grand scheme of things.
Which is zero, actually. It was zero.
Right? But that's not how those people are going to feel about it when they gave you their money. So now you have a bunch of people that you're treating like shit because you're just going about business as usual, as if their backing didn't matter, which it turns out it didn't, because it wasn't actually the total amount you were backing for anyway.
Whether or not you need it.
Like, this is the second worst thing you can do to a Kickstarter group.
Whether or not you need it, when you beg for money, you should make sure that the deal you're offering those whom you are begging for money will be the best deal. Right? So this has created a situation where, say, Yeastnet or whoever want to do Shenmue 4 and they go to Kickstarter. Why?
No, that's never going to happen.
But let's imagine, right? Why would you ever back it when you know you'll actually get a much better deal, like monetarily, but also content-wise?
By sticking around and waiting.
Just wait. And also, hey, why not take it a step further and just buy it deeply discounted on sale?
Oh, were the people that backed Shenmue 3 the people that care the most about Shenmue?
Yes, the people who should get the best stuff.
Who, in fact, are going to be get shat on the most.
Yeah.
When
that's the opposite of how that should go.
Just
like imagine
so nuts.
So you know
that they are letting this happen.
So you know the term slacker backer. Everybody, it's the people who back after the Kickstarter campaign. They usually have to back like $5 extra to get the same rewards or whatever the fuck, because it's an extra hassle and they couldn't guarantee the money when they were planning. Blah 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 blah. This is a situation in which, hey, Wooly, you backed day one of the Kickstarter. Okay, Kickstarter's over. Okay, we don't have enough money. Slacker backers, you can get a full upgrade tier higher for the same amount. No original backers, you may not refund your thing and get a slacker backer thing. No. Slacker backers are a new hotness. Okay, still don't have enough money. Slacker backers, you will now get a Coke with your pledge. Everything the other guys got, and a Coke. And it's like,
take your Kickstarter pledge down to GameStop and hand them the money, and then tell them you want to kickstart Shenmue 3, and they'll take it and go, okay.
Yeah, honestly, get your refund, and if you still want the game, go and pre-order it at a retail location. You'll get a better version of the fucking game. Or, better yet, refund your money and then don't.
It's not even about a better version of the game, because we don't even know what the content is going to be yet.
It will be a better version of the game.
But the problem is not even that. It's not even that. It's that
it's stupid. It's stupid.
There's no complete version of the game, right? the stuff that you get for being a Slacker backer is different from being a Kickstarter. And the Kickstarter is different from being a pre-order person with the regular retail version.
Those charts people mock Ubisoft for making? You shouldn't need one for a fucking Kickstarter game. Hey, me and you kickstarted Shovel Knight. A lot of people kickstarted Shovel Knight, right? That game's still not done. Still waiting for the battle mode. Guess what? The 3 versions of the game they put out, awesome. I'm still going to get that fucking battle mode when that drops. Awesome. I feel really, really good about helping Yacht Club make that game.
Yeah.
It made me feel really smart.
Yeah.
And that I did a good thing.
Yeah. The final thing that I think about now is just that, like, so all that bad press in the past couple weeks, a lot of that falls on Epic because people are just like, fuck, we hate your store.
Epic
this
gets
sucks. But ultimately, everyone goes, we understand the game's buying into a deal they can't refuse.
That's right.
Right.
They could have refused this deal in a second.
This is an Epic stepping in to pay back the refunds and whatnot is like, okay, yeah, Epic does what they want to do, and they continue to take that heat because they're still putting the game in a place where people don't want it.
How do I fucking even get a refund? I actually do want to get a refund, but I don't know where to send the email.
The fact that this stupid shit is happening due to modern nickel and diming season pass exclusive content bullshit that's just like completely and utterly unnecessary.
It should be removed from crowdfunded game. Like, you shouldn't need it because, hey, guess what? You got paid for, right?
Just the most optional fuck up I have seen all year. This is an optional fuck up. You didn't need. This is DLC fuck up. You purchased the fuck up season pass, and now you're getting optional anger from everybody that you didn't need to do. You could have completely avoided this by just making the game. Just make the game. It's so weird when it gets this convoluted in an attempt to make a little bit extra, and in the process just garners so much frustration from everyone that already gave you money. It's not just angry internet voices mobbing in the wind. It's people that paid you, man.
Plan to offer refunds. This was July 2nd, so I don't think they've even started it yet. For the fucking
AM2,
Shenmue III.
man.
This is not AM2.
Yu Suzuki.
This is not AM2.
Yes.
There will not be a
Yes.
fucking Sega AM2 fucking logo at the beginning of this game.
Fuck that Yeast RPG game that everyone cares about. The only yeast that mattered was... No, that's not true. But nonetheless, this is the yeast that I think of more than the other yeast.
I highly suggest taking all of your weird frustrations with Shenmue and going and checking out Judgment.
I am
Judge
actively
Eyes.
checking out Judge
And
Eyes.
that is not just to you. That's obviously, I was talking to Susie got into it. A ton of people are like, holy shit, this game, like, hey, guess what? That series is awesome and does everything that you wanted Shenmue to do way better, other than finish the Shenmue storyline.
Yeah, we are fortunately in a world where you have a choice to not care about what's happening here.
Also, as a person who, I've never played the Shenmue series ever. I have only seen other people play it, and to this day, I don't get it. I backed it because I thought it would be cool, but like, that game looks terrible. And the voice acting is embarrassing in a really awkward, horrible way. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
You spend the whole game training and learning moves for 2 fights. So you get 2 chances to actually
When did
use those
Shenmue
moves.
2 come out? 2001. 4 years later, Yakuza 1 came out and made it look like a joke.
I cared about Shenmue at the time. Didn't care about Shenmue 2 enough to beat it. Strung me along too long. Dropped off. Shenmue was already coming back with weights on. This is unnecessary. And, like, if it came out no problems and just had the content, the content on its own had issues to address.
Yeah.
Now it's just all around, everything about it, and that fucking sucks. So yeah, yay for Judge Eyes.
I still wish they called it Judge Eyes out here.
Yeah, but I addressed that in the video I put out, which you can check out on Woolly Versus, where I took a look at the game. We forgot to do our little thing, but I think it might have to.
Oh yeah, hey, check out Angriest Pat on Twitch. I do Twitch stuff.
I think it might have to do with the fact that the Eye of Judgment exists.
Probably.
Therefore, you could necessarily go that way on it. But
So
I like
the first
name
one
better.
you've really properly dived in on.
Yes, minus testing 3.
Do you like super long camera angles of hyper detailed Japanese old man's faces?
Yes. Yeah.
It is the only game that does that, and it's obsessed with it.
It's crazy.
Just
It's
stare
kinda
at the
nuts.
pores, every pore.
I wouldn't be surprised if he lifts his hand into the frame and it's just a single block polygon, because it's like all of the work is done in the face and there's just no body there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've said it already, but I know I can tell those games are like they're full of like fucking me juice. It's just the time.
Me juice.
It's just the time.
They're RPGs. They are 40 to 50 hour long RPGs.
Yeah.
So, like, plan it accordingly.
Yeah,
basically.
I like everything I've ever seen and associated with. It's just the time. Like, I saw some people kind of going, "Oh no, Wooly tested 3. That's the worst one. Therefore, he hates it." I'm like, no. That's not true.
No.
Plus, I liked what I saw when I tested it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, holy shit, this game is huge. That's a big act.
It also,
big crazy Japan with people walking around doing shit. That was amazing at the time.
It also has like one of my favorite of your testing stories, which is you seeing the physical. What was it? It's the book that was the text.
The localization fucking chart list, yeah. Like, just impossible. An actual impossible task. That was like one of the first games I've ever seen where everyone walking around has their little thought bubbles, and you just go, nope, you can't. No, that is not happening.
No, you do it.
And they're like, how long will it take us to translate this game? And like, I had to have meetings upon meetings to have to just sit people down and go, do you understand like what we're talking about here? Like every few steps.
Every random person's speech is translated.
Yes. And I planned the translation fucking testing plan for Scribblenauts, dude.
Yeah.
Okay? I put a Scribblenauts plan into action for Figs D, eFigs D, all the languages and whatever, and master planned this entire thing. The word game. I and it worked. And I looked at this and had a fucking aneurysm. No way, no how.
So I remember when I was on the Screaming for Yakuza 5 train, right? It was like, come on, guys, and it always came back. It's like, these games don't sell, and it's expensive to translate them. It's the only time that excuse ever came up that people went, yeah, we know, but we'll buy it, we promise.
Yeah.
It was not like, no, that's ridiculous. No, it can't cost that much. It was like, no, the fans of that series know. Oh my God, it's so much text. And the fact that they dubbed it this time around with Judgment 2, and they have a second subtitle track for the dub.
For the closed captioning.
That's crazy. There is so much money put into this localization.
I mean, I assume that like if they get you in, they realize that we got you.
Yes, people who get in on this get in
for fucking life. You got 15 games to go back through.
Well, 2 of them never came out. 5 of them never came out here.
Well,
but that's still 12. That's a lot of them.
Let's see. Minor story. Yeah, let me just cut some of these small stories out. No big deal here. Vampire Hunter D creator announces a new anime.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
Vampire Hunter D's a cool guy.
Yeah.
He hates vampires. Fuck him.
Multiplayer modes in Dark Pictures Man of Medan are interesting because they're multiplayer versions of
I think
Until Dawn gameplay.
Thing on that is they're like, we want to have an anthology of 8 dark,
that is
dark
pretty cool.
Shit.
Yeah. Ninja Warriors Again comes out July 25th. Give them your energy. Ninja Warriors Again is hot.
Oh, did we make fun of G2A this week?
GTO?
G2A.
No, I didn't catch anything like that.
Hey guys, okay, we promise we'll stop buying stolen keys. So hey, here's how we're gonna promise you not send us all of your keys for your game, and then we'll make sure that nobody tries to sell them to us.
Oh, yeah, right.
And it's like,
Yeah.
I promise I won't rob your house. Just give me all
your
of your
keys.
valuables.
Oh, yeah.
I won't go in your house, I promise. Just put all your shit out on the porch. Fuck, they're so crooked.
So, funny one is Xbox Germany making a big oopsie.
Oh no.
Big wha-ohs.
What-ohs?
Big wha-ohs.
I've never heard that one before. I like it.
So, Xbox Germany accidentally posted on Facebook and Twitter that Final Fantasy VII Remake would be coming to Xbone on March 2020.
That's not real. That's super not real.
And they literally, like, they've got the fucking the ad and the
Yeah,
date and
the whole
everything.
ad.
And that's a mistake. But it got posted and then deleted. Dubbed an internal mistake from the crew. And that's the same month as PS4.
Yep.
Which gets everybody going,
What?
huh? Now, obviously,
And Square came out and said, no, that's not real.
obviously everyone remembers, or if you don't, you should remember, that when FF7 was announced, the first thing it said was first on PlayStation 4.
It did.
Didn't say only on PlayStation 4.
And they made some hesitant hand washing when talking about the PC. That will happen eventually, right? But that could be a year, 2 years, whatever, when they get around to it, like FF15 was. But it's probably going to come to other consoles eventually, but
it'd be silly to think it wasn't
not
going
the same month.
Yeah.
That's actually more work than I think they have available. Like they seem to be putting a lot of money into that game. It'd be stupid to not put it elsewhere, right? But
Also, the same month, but like a couple weeks apart.
no one does that.
That's insane.
That's not what that means.
No one pays that money. No one does that. That's not worth it.
This will probably get ported not to the Xbox One, but to the Xbox 2.
Scarlet.
Xbox 2.
Scarlet. Yeah, probably.
Call it the Xbox 2, and all that name stuff is forgiven. Because that means we'll go the Xbox original, the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, and the Xbox 2.
1S, digital.
Xbone sad.
Yeah, Xbone sad. I hate the name Xbox now. I really don't like it. And they're stuck with it.
They screwed it up.
They're stuck with it super hard, but like
it says a lot that no one ever called the 360. I just called it the 360.
Yeah.
I was trying to make a point.
Yep.
And instead of saying the Xbox 360, I said 360. No one ever called it their Xbox.
Yeah. And PS is a PS is a PS, and you add the number, so that's done. And then
they're basically not allowed to change it.
Nintendo's the only one that gets their name used the way it should because it has the word Nintendo in front of it.
Yeah,
and then a thing.
And your mom calls it the Nintendo.
The Nintendo, and she's accurate when
she's
she
right.
says that.
She's not wrong.
The Nintendo is a sliding scale.
Do you like your new Nintendo? Yes, mother.
Yes.
I do like my new Nintendo.
Yeah, yeah. So, you call it the Switch, you call it the Wii, you call it the Wii U. Guess what? Those are the names of the thing. You know? This like weird Microsoft situation is one where no one uses the name of the thing.
It's the ultimate because every time they tried to get for maximum brand efficiency by changing it to whatever they thought was hot right now, right? They called it the Xbox because, hey, remember, most people probably don't remember this story. The reason why it's called the Microsoft Xbox is because they were never able to think up a name better than the system's fucking prototype name,
which was based on DirectX.
Which is the Direct Xbox. No one at the company was able to come up with a better name than Xbox, so they put out what we now know to be a stupid fucking name called Xbox. And then when they did 360, they didn't want to look like the 2 was less powerful than the PS3, so they went with some inhale corporate jerk off shit about the odds. You turn around, whatever.
I keep going back on that one and wondering, like, is there a chance It was so dumb. But is there a chance that they were right, that you could find a test group of people that are so stupid that they go, well, I don't know, that number is smaller. That's a PlayStation 3.
I absolutely believe that was very real data.
That fucking terrifies me. Because that, like...
The PS3 is better than the Xbox 2 because it's bigger, because it's the newer version.
That is so, like, that's the part that, like, at first I was like, Microsoft, you stupid, what are you doing? And then I was like, no, the fact that that's actually a thought that they were trying to avoid because they were scared of that is
We
god
live in a
awful.
world that has the worst console/handheld name ever in the form of the new 3DS.
Yeah.
Wii U's terrible.
New 3DS XL.
Xbox is terrible. But the new 3DS line
XL.
is the worst naming convention ever for anything. Because then you had to ask people for the new 3DS, the XL.
I feel like we would probably all be happier in a world where the project name was just the console name.
I'm still disappointed.
Except Xbox being the exception to the rule.
I'm still disappointed we didn't get the goddamn Sega Katana.
Katana, Dolphin.
Dolphin's so good.
As a console name, I'd be super
You
happy.
remember what the
with it.
3DS is one?
No.
No, sorry, the DS. DS was Nitro.
Nitro. Yes. Yeah. NRT. Was the all the dev kit stuff.
Yeah. Was it?
Yep.
No.
It was all NRT stuff. God, what was the Wii one? The Wii one had a
Wii was Dolphin. Wii U is something that I can't remember. Wii games have DLP on them.
Revolution.
Oh,
No, you're wrong. Dolphin is way older than that.
Dolphin, yeah.
Revolution. That's what it was.
Revolution.
Yes. And Revolution was like, it was stuck in everyone's heads. Like, oh my God, the console's going to be called the Nintendo Revolution.
I'm sick of getting cool names for things.
Yep.
Only to have the name that comes down the... Like, Scarlet, you know what? That's fine. I would take it. Xbox Scarlet,
That's where I
would call it Scarlet.
That's where I was going.
That's fine.
That's 100% where I was going.
But it's not going to be called Scarlet.
The Ultra 64.
You know what? Actually, Scorpio is called Scorpio. So maybe.
Project Cafe. Durango. Yeah. Just use the project names, except for Project Xbox.
Yeah, except for that one. That one's stupid.
You fucked up that one.
Because Scorpio and Scarlet are fine.
Yeah, they are.
They did use Scorpio, so maybe they will actually keep Scarlet.
If they just called it the Microsoft Scarlet, that'd be fine.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
That'd be fine. It's like, okay, cool, you're done. We're moving on, and we're using... Like,
Sony's locked in. They can't call it anything other than PS5.
Yeah. You know, remember when Apple, the OSs were like Panther?
I do.
And fucking like big cat names.
And that's why the browser is called Safari.
Eh!
You never put that together?
No kidding.
Yeah.
Big cats on the Safari.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. I didn't know that. That's really fun. Interesting. Vita means life.
Apple can go fuck themselves, by the way. By the way, Apple on Safari with your big cats. What?
Project names. It's the better way.
Did you guys really not get that?
No one got that. That's yeah.
It's obvious.
I didn't know it came out at the same time. And then the last thing we were going to bring up was that Respawn is now talking about how they're going to deal with Apex cheaters.
It's a good plan.
And the plan so far looks like they're looking for cheater jail, aka cheaters will have to fight each other. This is cool in concept, but not in execution, and here's why.
It's better when it's one-on-one, because then you can assure that it's all cheaters.
The problem is that cheaters probably wouldn't be that upset about fighting a bunch of other cheaters with their big cheats on.
Yeah.
They'd probably just have a big old cheaty time.
Yeah.
Right? The jail system works for people that do things like rage quit, for example, where it's not about cheating so much as it is like, fuck you, you didn't win bullshit, like bad manners. Bad manners people should be forced to fight other people with bad manners.
Yeah.
Cheaters should just be banned.
Yeah. You see Overwatch's new anti-cheat system?
No.
It's controversial, and I don't know how I feel about it because it seems really stupid. When cheating is detected, the match will end. The idea is that they don't... Here's the thing.
Instead of kicking the player.
Competitive Overwatch, if you just kick the player, that team is still down 5-6.
Until someone new joins.
But no, someone new is not going to join in competitive.
There's rain... yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if 5-on-6 means you're fucked, and you can't quit, because then you'll get locked out of your shit, so you're fucked. Right? So the idea...
In player match, people join and drop.
Oh, yeah, who cares? Right?
In
But
competitive...
in competitive, you're just fucked when the cheat system kicks somebody. The game is lost.
Yeah, no, end the game. I agree.
The current solution to that I saw people talking about is this is stupid and it sucks, but it's better than the current thing, which is the people on the cheater's team have to agree to throw the match. Like, they want the cheater to stay, but then the rest of the team will throw the match to even it out.
Sorry, is that a in-game prompt?
No, that's just like that's the best you could hope for. Is that people have good hearts.
Just good hearts and ethic?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, end the match. That makes
the idea
that
is
makes
that
sense.
the game is tainted, and
Yeah,
people who
exactly.
cheat will get really sick of just not being able to play the game at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the thought process, but also in anything competitive, like, yeah, the game is tainted. There's nothing you can do with that.
I have a new system. It's called, if they detect cheats on your system, a man comes to your house and throws rocks through your windows.
How about everybody gets the cheats? And everybody gets...
Well, I mean, that's a different thing altogether.
if one person cheats, everybody... Oh, shit.
Oh, no!
Whoops. If one person cheats, everybody cheats.
They just saw that embarrassing thing in your home.
It's not...
Yeah, I know.
There's nothing. That's all fine. That was the kitchen.
You knocked chat down.
Everyone's okay. It's okay, you guys.
Oh God! Don't do it.
It's not a big...
two cameras. That's weird.
It's not a big deal.
Don't do that. That's odd.
It's all good. It's cool.
What are you doing?
I don't care.
Making a point here?
I got nothing to hide.
That thing doesn't seem really stable, man.
No, I loosened it to do that, and now I've tightened it again.
Okay.
Visuals. I
Really knocked the camera over.
think that everyone in the game should get cheats except the person who's cheating. Then their game...
Oh, the instant cheating is detected.
Everyone gets cheats,
Gets God
and
mode and shit.
you don't. And you don't.
That's super fun.
Yeah, and then it doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you, but you just end up sucking. And everyone fucking crushes you, and you don't know why.
You know what? We were talking about this the other day after the Resident Evil 2 stream. You know how like a Battle Royale games will put you in a game with bots that are easy to beat?
Yeah.
They should do the opposite. You get caught, you get thrown into a bot match.
Oh, Nintendo
with like god bots.
Nintendo replaces everyone in like with when you switch disconnect on the old Smash.
Yeah.
It replaces it with CPU.
Level 99 CPUs.
Yeah. Just headshot it out of the gate.
Oh yeah, how's it feel?
Yeah.
It feels bad, huh?
And everyone's still talking normally.
Yeah.
So you still hear them.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you've just been ghosted into a phantom game.
And you're like, guys, where are you going? Guys, what's happening? Yeah. Absolutely. Anyway. So Apex...
Don't cheat in your video games.
Close, but no cigar. You can't... That's not who you're... Like, the people who we're talking to that are like... Remember those forums where people would cheat and then, like, complain?
Oh, I do.
Yeah, so those are, like, joyful, rich, fulfilling... like some warm...
It makes it all worth it.
It
makes it all worth it.
It's a warm broth of just soup that you just...
When are you going to start selling those?
You know, it gets right inside. It's beautiful. However, that does not represent the average cheater. Yeah. I think the average cheater is just a fuckboy that just doesn't care. That's
I think
blasting whatever shitty fucking...
I think the most respectable response to, hey, stop cheating in your video games is... Yeah, I don't care. I just want to have fun, and I don't have fun unless I win.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're an asshole, but at least I can understand the A to B to C.
Yeah. Like, I know that person.
I have known many of those people.
Where, like they're doing a bunch of other shit in life in general. They don't care.
That is also bad.
And then, exactly. And then then they go and like, oh, let me play some games for a bit, and then they just do that and they cheat and they go like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that was fun. I had fun winning.
And if they get banned from the game, they're like, oh, whatever,
That
fuck
game
that
sucks.
game, and then go play another one. Like that's it. It doesn't matter. So
I had a friend of a friend. So basically, my friend was talking to me, and he was getting really sick because an old pal of his from college would get into a game with him and be like, "Hey, man, come play this game with me," right? And my friend would start enjoying it, say League or something like that, and then this person would get inevitably banned for being super duper toxic, and then 180 on it and be like, "That game suck. I never liked that game. That game's crap. Come play this new game with me." And the process would repeat like 4 times a year. Just over and over and over. And every time the word came down from anyone like, hey, why don't you just stop typing in chat? Nah, man, I can do whatever I want. And fuck these games. They can't tell me what it's like every time. Every time.
Can't go to Bagel Boss anymore.
Can't do it. Have you ever thought of just shutting your fucking mouth when you go outside? Has that ever been a thought that popped in your head?
Gotta go somewhere else.
All these restaurants are out to get me.
Let's take some emails.
Hey, if you want to send an email in, you can send it to castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. That's castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. Have you ever thought about just shutting your fucking mouth?
You catch the follow-up?
There's a fucking follow-up to that?
There's a part 2, then there's the web... Okay, so Bagel Boss, a.k.a. Short Man, walks into a bagel store, loses his mind because he's yelling at his past while everyone else is in the present.
And, like, he's doing that thing where you're crazy yelling and it looks like you could just go nuts at any time.
Like, he's getting angry at the fact that women on dating sites that laugh at him for being short.
Shorter than me, for fuck's sake. He's a tiny man.
And everyone in reality is like...
We're in the real world, sir.
And he's just screaming at his past. And then... you know, they've then like further digging found that his YouTube channel where he uploads himself yelling at people on a regular basis.
It's a thing. Those all got deleted very quickly. I don't know if you saw.
I didn't. But then there was the news interview where he calmly describes that, you know, he got a little scuffed up, but not a big deal. He took a bigger scuff later that day from when he went into the woods with a bat to take out his anger on the trees.
Yeah.
But no big deal. Ultimately, he's the Martin Luther King of bullying.
No, of short people.
Well, he said of bullying. But,
he also said again later of short people. So. As a short person, I do not acknowledge this man's ascendancy to a position of power.
Like I said, he's an admiral in Napoleon's army. God bless. It is a cartoonish depiction of something that people make fun of.
It is when people like talk about like short man complex or whatever.
Yeah,
like this is more ridiculous than the joke in those people's minds.
Exactly. That's like this is the purest, most like. Is this real? Is this really happening?
If this is a bit, you're doing a good bit.
And the accent and anyway.
Yeah, the accent really kicks it home, doesn't it?
Holy shit. Anyway, God bless.
Don't be trash, people. Come on. I know you want to be trash, but just don't be trash.
Aaron says, hey guys, what's the weirdest billboard sign you've ever seen? Mine was one that read, what would Jesus think? Porn destroys love. Followed immediately by 5 signs in a row for the adult superstore at the next exit. It's good. It's good.
I think the weirdest billboard or advertisement, I don't think it was a billboard, but it was a big ad, and it was walking out of the theater downtown after the theater was filled with a shit ton of anti-vape advertisements. Don't vape. Vape's bad for you. And there were signs pointing the way to the weed store less than 100 feet away. And it was like, don't vape. Buy weed from the government.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't vape. Vaping could cause you to crash your car. This way. But that's a Canadian exclusive currently, in terms of bizarreness.
What was that movie? 3 Billboards Outside of something, Missouri. Yeah, it was a movie I wanted to see. Didn't bother. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't committed any to brain, but I've certainly seen a bunch of hilarious ones.
But none that like burnt in.
Yeah, definitely not.
I've never seen a religious billboard.
I always get a good sensible chuckle out of the aggressiveness of the American ones that I come across every time I'm down there, and I see some lawyer going hard like
Are you hurt?
like it's weird because there's like it's always a question just like, are you entitled to money? Before you see the doctor, call me. And it's like the dude, and it's like you, and like it'll be like some dude in a suit with like a crazy fucking like standing on a cliffside with God rays on him, or just some nuts thing.
I can teach you to trick your doctor into giving you money.
Call this fucking number.
Yeah.
You don't know what you are owed until you call me, and I can tell you how hurt you are.
I don't know what it is, but every time I go down to the States, I'm always befuddled at the amount of car parks and storage facilities. Always with the storage facilities. I don't get it. What are you people storing? Why so much?
I mean, I had a need for storage facilities recently when, like, we had to put someone's stuff in a storage place.
But you don't need to advertise it. If you need it, you need it.
I guess so. I guess a lot of people are getting kicked out of houses and need somewhere to put their shit, dude. Oh, drugs? Yeah, okay, the drugs.
Oh, drugs.
Big crime.
Okay, crime.
Crime and drugs.
Yeah, crime. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Hey, why is that lawyer's number 1-800-FREE-MONEY? Call this number. We're not promising you anything, but if you call 1-800-FREE-MONEY, we'll take your case.
American TV is so nuts. I love it.
I
love it. America, you're weird.
Hey guys, local Austinite here. Oh my god, damn it! Hold on. Where's my?
What the?
Excuse me.
What is
that? For time, I'm just gonna get something.
All right. So who wants to pick what item I put my balls on in Woolie's house as he removes himself from view? Okay, here we go. What is this? Oh yeah, all done. All done. Got a good smear on that.
Totally not recorded on camera there, Seinfeld.
All right. Wait, why Seinfeld?
Toothbrush.
That's why. I didn't actually swab your thing. Don't worry. I would never do it on camera. That's how you go to jail. No, wait. Swabbing your balls on people's items isn't jail worthy, is it? Don't do it. It's a joke.
Have you experienced the modern true horror that is Reddit clips of people licking things in stores or spitting into jugs of iced tea and putting it back on the rack?
How do you spit in a jug of iced tea and then put it back on the rack?
You open it, you spit in it, you close it back, and you put it back on the rack.
Who's stupid enough to fucking...
People filming themselves on Instagram.
No, not that. No, that answer I know. Is people dumb enough to social
Girl
media.
licks ice cream.
Yeah.
Because what's her name did it.
Yeah, but who is stupid enough to get a liquid food that is opened?
Oh yeah.
That like
that's
seal's broken, leave the store.
What seal?
Yeah, exactly. You know when you get a Snapple, you go to boop, 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 thing on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do that right now before you buy it? Throw that thing into the sky, away from you, as far as it can go.
Well, the one that gets me a lot of the time is, I don't know how often you drink like a sports drink of some kind.
Yeah, occasionally.
But sometimes they have a seal under the quick sip lid.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's nothing.
Yeah, those are the ones you buy. The ones that have a seal.
But how do you... Yeah, and that's the thing is I never know which brand has it and which doesn't. And I've had ones where like I go to open it and I'm like, oh, it's already
Poured out on the street.
like, but I'm thirsty, and I already walked away from the store. Yeah.
So, Wooly, I don't know if you remember this, but about 2 years on the podcast, I actually put this fear forth, and you laughed and laughed and laughed because we were describing a situation in which a server at a restaurant brought a meal.
You don't want people messing with
compliments of the chef or whatever, right? And I described that terrified me and that I would leave because of this.
Okay, but that is still irrational and specific. This is everyone getting super, super fucking pissed at the idea of, like, someone out there in the world at a nearby store that you might walk into fucking with your shit.
Yeah.
For Instagram walls.
Yeah,
And
it's I believe, depending on where you are, it could be classified as first-degree assault by poisoning.
Well, everyone wants to see the maximum hurt put on the person because it's like, it's so light in general, like, criminal context, but it's
like littering, right?
But it's so fucking disgusting and disturbing.
But
to think that it's like, yeah.
But, hey, let's take an example, right?
It just brings out the rage. It brings out the rage because it goes against the rules of society being sane and just trusting that other people are gonna live and let live.
Let's play a game into why it's actually for real, though. Let's say you have a bit of a cold and you do it.
Yeah.
And let's say the person picking it up has a compromised immune system for whatever reason. That could be a bullet.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not fun. Let's say, I don't know, you had a peanut butter sandwich that day.
Guess what?
Dead kid.
Yeah.
Right? Like, now, people with those allergies should obviously be very careful because everything in the air can kill them. But, like, yeah. I remember back a while ago, there was something called the Tylenol murders. Do you ever hear about this?
Oh, yeah, which is why
people
we have
put rat poison in Tylenol.
Which is why we have cotton inside of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people with the severe peanut allergies are also
They're doomed.
They're playing through a different version of the game.
Yeah.
Quite frankly. An unpatched, insanely brutal version of the game.
Why did you spec this way? What possible buff did you get as a result?
Very unfortunate. You know, I'm certainly maybe at one point when, like, the peanut cleansing occurs, then, like, the sensitivity to it being in your area might be something that'll... I don't know. I'm trying to imagine a series of events where a peanut allergy...
Where the big peanut comes down from the sky and cleanses all the non-peanuts.
Where it's like a world where someone being sensitive to peanuts being nearby will save their life because people who can't detect peanuts being nearby get fucking killed by them.
You ever see something that's, like, really funny, but it's, like, so awful? Somebody in our chat just all caps speedrun strats. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why you get the peanut allergy.
Yeah.
Get that Ocarina time run down to 17 minutes. Whoever said that, that's awful.
To quote this very same... To quote us.
Yeah.
Start a new save.
Just start a new save.
Start a new save.
Yeah, just start a new one. Oops.
Yeah.
Don't tamper with people's fucking food, guys.
Fuck those people. Fuck those people. That's where we take that Apex punishment and put it here, where it's like for the next year
you can only eat food that other people have spit on.
Yes.
I don't like that. That makes me so anxious. I'm having a fucking panic attack right now at the concept. Oh my god!
You are not allowed to consume anything.
Oh shit!
Unless someone has fucked it up first in their choice of manner.
Oh, that's so bad.
For a year, monitored.
Oh,
you have no choice. What are you gonna do? Not eat?
And just like the
Die?
KFC, if you attempt to cleanse the food, we'll bring out a new one.
A new one will be prepared. You what are you gonna do? Just die? You can't die.
You'll have to eat eventually.
Fuck you. It's 1 year. That's the exact level. That's the punishment.
So,
And it's not too much. It's not too little. It's just the same level of.
I bet most people would crack in like a day, man. Like,
I mean, look. Some people have, if you build up I don't want to say a tolerance,
yeah,
a resistance. If you're someone who
eats food off the floor,
or garbage cans,
yeah,
then,
or just actual garbage,
then you're not gonna really give a shit about that.
Yeah.
But the people filming these videos for Instagram are not those people.
So here's the thing, right? And I'm going to be really, really clear with my language as we are known people. I am legitimately in no way advocating that anyone do something immoral. And in fact, I am advocating that you don't do things that are immoral. What I am saying, however, is that if you are an Instagram person and you are a known person and you videotape yourself tampering with people's food, you are essentially broadcasting to the world that it is fair game for people at restaurants to fuck with you.
If your face is out there.
Yeah. Like, you are broadcasting to every waiter or cook that sees you.
Yep.
That you're an asshole.
And all they really have to do is when they bring you the bill, just give you a little wink.
Yeah.
You know?
And you're done eating.
It's already done.
Right? Like, what are you thinking? Why broadcast such a specific thing that people can use to justify to themselves to fuck with you later? It seems short-sighted.
Total fair game.
Like, it's the equivalent of like, hey, check me out. I'm fucking triple parked in a handicap space. Enjoy people feeling nothing as they double park you in the future. Right?
And you're gonna wish that you're getting spit in your food. Because that's level 1.
Yeah.
Let's be real. It gets so much worse. A lot of things coming out of this body.
People become desperate for attention without thinking about what attention entails. You're aware that if this video blows up really well, that somebody who views it might, I don't know, work in law enforcement?
Hey, how many people sub to I'm a total piece of shit on Reddit?
A lot.
Millions?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Oh, one of them's your boss. Oops.
Sick.
You know what my favorite is, though, of all this? Oh, man, called in sick to work. Fucking high. Oh, my boss is on my Facebook.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. You're so stupid. Why? How can you be so stupid?
It just like
It's the best, man.
And then they always feel the sharpest regret. And it's just like, where was this
10 seconds ago?
Where was it? Where?
It didn't exist.
Anyway. Local Austinite here wants to say, missed you guys at RTX last weekend. Based on your comments, you might be interested to know the origin of the phrase "keep Austin weird."
I am interested. What is
way tamer than people think. The phrase originated with the slogan of the Austin Independent Business Alliance as a means of promoting local small businesses over large chains. The idea was to support small local shops and restaurants instead of Walmart and McDonald's. Supporting locally owned businesses meant giving money to your fellow Austinites rather than corporate Bob in an office across the country, so the money would stay in the community. The phrase came to be shorthand for deliberately choosing against the mainstream choice, which over time evolved to be associated with all the general weirdness of the city dating back to the hippie days. Nowadays, it's just a tourist phrase that almost no one remembers what it originally meant.
That makes perfect sense. That is, yeah, absolutely. Keep it local.
From Allie.
Essentially.
Thanks, Allie. PS bonus dumb bullshit. Don't mess with Texas is actually from the Texas Department of Transportation and their anti-littering slogan. You thought
that's where that's from?
You thought it was a cool phrase, but it's actually about calling out Pat littering live on stream.
I would never litter in another place that I don't live. That's immoral.
Especially one where a bullet might meet you.
No, that's not why.
It might come say hello.
Listen, I pay my taxes, therefore I'm paying for people to pick up the garbage off the street. Therefore, it's fine. If I go somewhere else, I'm not paying them their taxes. Therefore, I'm littering essentially for free, which is immoral.
So, as much as I enjoy, or not really enjoy, but as much as I watch and scroll through I'm a Total Piece of Shit,
yeah,
there's also, instant karma and justice served, where you can watch the dude.
Instant karma's like it's delicious.
It's so good, but
it's fast too.
yeah. And there's three of them. There's instant karma. There's justice served, and then there's a convenient cop in some cases,
Okay.
right? But in particular, a recent instant karma one was like, car window rolls down, bottle flies out the window.
Bottle goes right back in.
Well, not even. Okay, so there's two. There's the one where the can goes out the window, and a girl picks up the can and throws it, and it boomerangs into the car, and it's pretty sick before it drives off. But no, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the one where it's a taxi.
Yeah.
Bottle comes out the window, taxi stops, driver gets out, like just kind of puts the hand up to the person who's recording and just kind of goes like, hey, sorry, just give me a second, opens up taxi door, throws dude out and drives the fuck off. And the dude's like, what?
Don't throw things out of a taxi window. That's rude.
Yeah. Good times.
Apparently that was a fake commercial.
Was it?
Yeah.
God damn it, I got debated. Ambiguity in fiction. From Ben, he says, Dear Watt and Pooley, I do this thing where I simultaneously...
Watt and Pooley?
Yeah,
That sounds like shit.
I do this thing where I simultaneously appreciate writers leaving things ambiguous while also having strong feelings about the correct interpretation, calling everyone who disagrees with me an idiot. For example, in The Killing Joke, spoilers for a 30-year-old Batman story, the ending is left clearly open to interpretation. I believe Batman killed the Joker and that any other interpretation misses the point and undermines the quality of the work.
You just said it was intentionally left open to interpretation.
In my mind, not all ambiguity is meant to let the readers draw their own conclusions, but that there's often an intended meaning that the author believes if we're smart enough to figure it out. What are your thoughts, and are there any ambiguous stories in which you feel strongly about a particular interpretation?
That depends on the author, and often the author will literally say, I left it open so that you could draw your own conclusions.
The most fucking apt of the time, striking while the iron is hot version of this is Ava, where the ending is to this, like, someone this weekend was talking about their interpretation of things, and then saying they watched another video which changed their mind on a few things, and started going down a list of things where I was like, what are you
talking about?
No, what? No.
Did we watch the same thing?
And then like someone else sent a video to me like yesterday that was like, hey, here's a really good breakdown of what End of Ava probably means.
And you know what the best part about that is? Don't go to the author. Don't even talk to him about it, because he'll just tell you to get fucked.
Basically.
And guess what? That's my interpretation of Evangelion.
Yeah.
It's get fucked, losers. I don't care about your anime shit. I'm depressed.
There are some things that are obvious about Ava. There are some things that are less obvious, and there are things that you just guess because you like it that way. You know, it's hard to
If it's left open, if it's too open, don't enjoy its openness.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was gonna say. One of the stories that I talked about on Wooly Will Figure It Out was one where I left the story open-ended because it doesn't matter what happens after that point.
Yeah.
And that's good enough reason to stop where you stop.
There are endings in which the some actual total end of the plot doesn't matter because it's pointless.
Yeah. If the answer to what happens next is who cares, you probably picked a good place to stop.
More importantly, if you then look at that and go, no, but who though? The answer should be you're not supposed to care.
Yeah.
The point is that it doesn't matter.
Yeah. That is my favorite version of an open ending, when you clearly can see that, like, oh, story stops right there. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like I forget what it was, but there was something that it was like, but who was right after all? And it's like, it doesn't matter because they wrecked everything.
Yeah.
And their whole lives are ruined now because of the argument.
The biggest one of all time is probably The Sopranos, and I originally hated it and then liked it later.
The cut to black.
The Cut to Black. I think it, yeah. I like it based on what I feel that probably could mean, but ultimately, it's one of those discussions that it's like, in interviews like 10 years later, fucking dude was like accidentally letting. He phrased something in such a way
that it gave more than he intended.
That it basically referred to Tony as no longer alive.
Okay.
And therefore betrayed his intentions.
Yeah.
You know.
I saw people reminiscing about it. Like, there's the ending to The Thing. At the very end, is McCready the thing? Is Giles the thing? Or are neither of them the thing? Or are both of them the thing? It doesn't matter. It's not, you're not supposed, the question that you feel at the end of that movie is the ending. Not like theory crafting, oh, maybe McCready drank from the thing. That it's not, who cares?
Why'd he choke her out, though?
Who?
Why'd Shinji choke her out?
She's a bitch.
Is it just that simple? Is it not about, like, one person who ultimately is needy, doing the thing that is against them and going to the furthest extreme of their character, which he did at the beginning, and then she, who is also kind of an opposite version of the same problem?
I mean, you could look at that thematically.
Is it not a role reversal?
On a real core basis, it's the world is over and he fucked up, and the first person he sees is the biggest bitch in the universe.
You know, or
fuck that bitch.
Someone else said, or he can't coexist properly with other people, and that's why the first thing he does is reject the first person that exists outside of himself in this new, you know, there's
a lot. I mean, I could get into it if you like, because I find it interesting.
No, I'm good. I've done it way too many times.
Yeah, see, that's probably the difference.
Yeah.
And hey, what does the footage from 4.0 mean? It means go fuck yourself, movie watcher. I hope you don't enjoy good movie. That's what the director said to you. He said that.
20 years. Sure. Dare Wooloo and Pig Knight. Pat is obsessed with immortality, but what kind of immortality? I'd love to hear your answer too, Wooly. Would you like the kind that is mutant healing like Wolverine?
No.
Full cybernization like the Major?
Yep.
Unkillable like Vandal Savage?
Hell no.
Live as long as you care to like the elves from Lord of the Rings?
That's a good one.
Nanomachines from Transcendence?
That's all right.
Age so slowly that you witness the heat death of the universe like Superman?
That one's really bad.
Small plastic hard drive that's transferable between bodies like Altered Carbon?
Yeah, that's fine.
Backup clones like the Sixth Day?
No. Sixth Day is a nightmare, immortality.
Download your consciousness into a machine like Soma?
No, it doesn't count.
Disintegration and painfully reassembling yourself atom by atom like Dr. Manhattan?
That's obviously quite bad.
Yeah. You'd go for the Major?
I go for...
You'd go for a ghost without a shell?
Yeah, I'll take the robot because I want to be a robot. But the important distinction between immortality and... Nobody actually wants immortality. Everyone wants eternal youth.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
The ability to live forever is great right up until the Earth dies.
Or your body is worthless.
Or it becomes trapped in a glacier.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You need to be able to pull the plug.
Yeah. You need to be like, okay, well, I'm in space and I'm hurtling towards the sun. It's going to take me about 1,000 years to hit the sun. And then when I do hit the sun, it's going to be infinite agony for 4 million years. Time to stop thinking.
Yeah.
Time to learn how to stop thinking.
Yeah. That's pretty straightforward.
Could you imagine if he hadn't learned how to stop thinking? How bad that would be? It'd be the worst anyone ever got it.
Well, it'd be like a Ninja Scroll guy.
He gets it so bad.
He gets it really bad.
He gets it so bad.
Because he doesn't have he's down there. He's not even that far.
He's really not even that far.
It's basically Diode. Except...
he's not going nowhere.
Can't move. And lastly, Dear Beastcast, lackluster. I recently beat Persona Q2.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little fun send-off to the 3DS, but the final attack the heroes do to finish the final boss was lame.
Really?
Partly because it's an RPG. You, Joker, Minato, and Femc do their big final attack, and when the damage number shows up, it only did 920 damage, when you can easily do over 1,000, not even power charged, which just made me laugh instead of get super hyped.
That's really dumb.
Are there any supposed big final attacks that you can think of that are super lame in games?
I was thinking about FF7 the other day because everybody's final limit does like the damage cap, but a lot of people's final limits hit like 10 times, and other people's hit everyone in the party once. So like Tifa and Sid's like do like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of hits of damage, and like Red 13's does like 20k, 30k.
Hmm.
Omnislash does fucking 150,000 damage to one target. Like, it sucks. It's why I like you played FF10. Yeah, of course you did. In FF10, once you get certain upgrades, you break the damage cap, which I always find really satisfying.
Yeah, Geno Whirl.
Yeah.
That was fucking what?
Yeah.
You can't do that many numbers. What are you talking about? I mean, going back to it, like Final Form Dante in DMC 1 is pretty fucking lame. Because he just turns into Sparta for some reason.
Yeah.
And then he summons a dragon named Puff.
I will say there is the opposite version of this, which I'm starting to enjoy even more, which is instead of the ultimate attack big number, it's negating the big attack.
Go on.
So in pretty much all my big number games, let's take 14, the boss is going to do the gigantic raid wide that can almost wipe everybody, but you stacked enough defense that the number that pops up after the hit is 0. And instead of missing, it says the name of the attack and then 0.
Yeah.
And it's like,
right.
Okay, yes, delicious.
Sure. You numbered it up. Yeah, I'm having a hard time scraping for any, but surely there is something out there that is like really anticlimactic. But yeah. Nope. Those were all cool. Like just running down the list of. Yep, that's all super cool. Beautiful Joe did it really cool. Wonderful 101 did it really cool. Big cool, final cool. Oh well.
Sorry, dude. That's the example you used. Kind of set the bar too high.
Yeah.
Like 920 damage. Holy shit.
When a normal when one character can do 1,000 on
it
his
shouldn't
own.
have had a damage number associated with it
At all, actually. I mean, Super Robot Wars does that, where they just fucking add an extra digit.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, fuck you, that thing's dead.
Remember one of the things the Borderlands does and what World of Warcraft does is that when your damage numbers gets high enough, it becomes number K. So instead of doing 800 damage, you're doing 2.2 K damage per hit.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
All right, shit's done. Shit's over. Go home or stay at home.
You don't have to go home.
You don't have to go home. But you can't stay here.
That's
The podcast will be over in like just a second.
What do you want at Area 51?
Don't go to Area 51.
The Area 51, you get shot.
The last person who tried to infiltrate Area 51 got shot to death by the guards.
Don't fucking. What are you
Don't
gonna
do
do?
that.
The Area
You guys are idiots.
All right.
You're not gonna get an alien. You're gonna get a bullet.
Appreciate everybody walking and talking like, oh, me walking out of Area 51 like
With my alien.
or my Yamato
Or my robot.
or my husband Piccolo.
You're gonna walk out with a bullet.
You're gonna fucking get killed.
Wait, you're not gonna walk out with a bullet.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.